National leaders are calling for restraint to reduce the risk of miscalculation.
Greece has detained more than 1,200 migrants over the past 3 days, following a sharp increase in landings from northern Africa.
Authorities say the arrivals, primarily on Crete and nearby islets, exceeded their operations capacity. The Greek Coast Guard has been reinforced.
European Parliament members are preparing for a no-confidence vote today against EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Joseph Eckerson reports.
Criticism has centered on recent immigration policy and economic reforms.
The Department of Homeland Security has moved to end temporary protected status for around 76,000 migrants from Honduras and Nicaragua.
Officials say conditions in those countries no longer justify the protections.
This is News in 60 with Alan Edwards.
The host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of
One
fact.
day they will get it fixed. One day, but
fact-checking
not
and
today.
corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Gonna do away with it. Gonna do away with everything. Do away with everything. I'll do away with it all. I will do away with it all. Oh, look, I got audio meters. Did you notice we have audio meters? Look at my little audio meter. You see that? Oh, yeah. Look at the audio.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
I don't know. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. Gosh, doom ba bing. I don't have the right one anymore, do I?
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Ah, StreamYard. Why do you confuse the dog? Go get the ball. Oh, there's no ball.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah, I need a hack ride. That's what I need.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking.
In the middle of a pool. I didn't get
That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
How do you do that? Now, I don't know if... Oh, there's a whole lot of things I don't know. There's more I don't know than I know. By a lot. I know that much. I know that I don't know what I need to know as much as I don't know what I know. I know. I'm supposed to know. Or need to know. Now I told you I don't know. Good morning, folks. I'm waiting to see if that turns off by itself. Will you? Will you go to lunch? Will you? No, you won't. It doesn't matter if that button's on or not. You see that? You will not go to lunch. Anyway, good morning. I'm sorry. It's Tuesday. I tell you, terrible things happen on Tuesdays. Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Here's an anomaly. Oh, he said anomaly, and you thought he was going to say anus. We played the news, and the news did not even mention Epstein's list. Of course, there is no Epstein's list, right? It never existed, even though it was on Pam Bondi's desk. And thousands of videos and all that stuff that she claimed that she had and she was going through, and it was taking time to release, and they couldn't wait, and they danced with books that said, yeah, No, Epstein didn't exist. There was never any Epstein. We made him up. Why? Because it seemed fun at the time. But no mention of that in the news. Alan Edwards talking about, first of all, some chick named Ursula. You don't try to... You don't get rid of a chick named Ursula. Ursula, bedroom. I'll be in a little bit. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, some of the right wing now, and this is temporary. Don't get your hopes up. Some of the MAGA people are actually, hey man, it smells like a cover up. What's going on? Hey, I got news for you, dudes. You got to be an idiot if you did not know Donald Trump bragged about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, that he liked younger women like me, that he liked to pervert on 14 and 15-year-old girls in the Miss America pageant that he was a sexual predator. His own daughter on Howard Stern called him a sexual predator. And you know what his response was? Yeah. And his two sons were there too, and they went, yeah. There's dozens of pieces of evidence. Jeffrey Epstein called him his best friend for 10 years. This is the world's most prolific child rapist. And you got behind him. You aligned yourself with him. And, you know, it's a comedy show, right? Not really. It's his thing show. This thing show. You probably don't want to get all morbid and dark and all this. But rape is actually probably worse than murder. Murder, you're dead. It's over. Rape, you get to relive the trauma every day for as long as you live, which makes child rape even worse because they have much longer to live, so they can relive the trauma even longer. They have the most prolific child rapist in the history of the world. And you align yourself with him. He's your daddy. Who's your identity? You identify with him. So this is why facts can't touch you. Facts can't touch you because he is your identity. This is the man that you feel represents you. He represents your identity, who you are, the world's most prolific child rapist. And he's covering it up. And no shame. No shame about it at all. So there you go. As far as the show today, talk about shame. This is now, we had a guest scheduled, Christian Ray Flores. At 1:30 this morning, I got an email. 1:30 this morning. It's what is that? 7.5 hours ago, something like that. Daisy Jean Tamperong. There you go, Daisy Jean Tamperong. His publicist contacted me. 1:30. This is 7+ hours ago. So sorry for the late notice. Christian won't be able to join your scheduled podcast. He's currently heading out for vacation. If you're open to it, we'd be happy to coordinate a new date that works for you. Thanks so much for your understanding. I don't understand. First of all, nobody takes a vacation. Very few people take a vacation on a whim. And that's irresponsible. You made an appointment for tomorrow morning. You show up, and then you go on vacation. This is one of those mornings where I wish I had the phone loopback hooked up, because I would call her and say, well, I'd let you dictate what I should say, probably. That would be a good thing. But I think I would probably say something like, no fucking way, you stank whore. Something like that. But, you know, we're open to booking another day. I'm just here for you to use whenever it's convenient for you. Is that what you're saying? I wasn't really looking forward to talking to this Christian douchebag fuckface anyway. Christian Ray Flores. He's a author, coach, entrepreneur, blah, 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 suck-ass vacation taker. But I got his picture up on the promo, just so a reminder. If anybody clicks on it to want to hear about him, they can hear what I'm saying about him. He's an irresponsible fuck. And here's where it gets really fun, because a GD was in the back now. About 7,000 episodes ago, and we haven't even done 7,000. We've only done 6,999 episodes. About 7,000 episodes, I told him, don't do your research on the guests. And I'm sure I watched him. I was kind of like, yeah, look, he's doing his research. He's doing his research on a no-show. Because I'm a devil like that. So he's going to be mad at me. But that was very irresponsible of me, too. I just felt like taking a vacation. What can I tell you? Anyway, Christian Flores is not going to be here. Are you happy? You should be happy. So we got 2 hours to fucking kill, maybe even more, just talking about Epstein's list, which doesn't exist. Now, here's, ladies and gentlemen, how about a hug? Can I get a hug? Yesterday, I was talking about Mark Norman and my appreciation for him being the most prolific joke writer, unlike Trump, who was the most prolific child rapist. Mark Norman, when all this Epstein stuff came out, and Pam Bondi is saying there is no Epstein's list. There never was an Epstein list. Mark Norman came out and said there never was a Schindler's List. To which I replied, "You're a Holocaust film denier." And he wrote to me, "Way to one up me on my joke, man. Pretty cool, Mark Norman." All right, okay. I can. I'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna play a commercial, and then we'll just bore the shit out of you for 2.5 hours. How about that?
Soft and pink. She comes without a head. But at least she'll never shit the bed. You need a fake rubber squeeze. Be like Stephen Ortiz. Move it up, it's so soft. Get your 10% off. He goes to Tantalene. He goes to Tantalene. He goes to Tantalene. He goes to Tantalene. What's in the box? What's in the box? In the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now are two talentless hacks, I guess. One who is definitely on Epstein's list, and the other who had just researched a person who's not coming here. So, Stephen, the fabulous and sexy child rapist, Ortiz, and GD, I did a bunch of research for nothing, Fenderson. Good morning.
Good morning, America. Are you ready to launch your brand and build income, influence, and legacy? Take the Coffee with the Dog challenge. Are you listening to Coffee with the Dog?
I am.
And you're not ready to launch.
Oh.
MyDogTV.com/merch.
Yeah. Ready to launch was that Matthew McConaughey movie where he was just like a stoner living with his parents, right? This is
then you're right. Yeah. Let me finish.
Close to my heart. I want to be a stoner living with my parents, except my parents are dead. But
MyDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering and support your local mercenaries.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm thinking of I haven't done anything with Weed World for a while. And not the Weed World, the channel Weed World. I haven't. And the other day I started to walk around the neighborhood, and then I realized I was going to get raped by they run out with free samples. But if you take a sample, shish kaboomba, if you know what I mean. But first, shish kaboomba. So yeah, you can have free pre-roll. But I'm not.
What did you just say?
Huh?
What did you just say?
Shish kaboomba. It's like you know the shish kaboomba joke. But first, shish kaboomba. That's what, or whatever it is.
No, what?
You know the shish kaboomba joke.
I don't know the shish kaboomba joke.
Yeah, you do. You just don't know you know it because I know you know it. We said it on the show when you've heard it.
Yeah, I think I might have changed the word because
you did. You changed the word because it's that word's not important. It's the act that's
exactly
important.
The word's not important, Stephen.
Oh. You can plug in anything. You can say first cranberry juice.
I don't know. Birch cranberry juice doesn't seem to fit that scenario. It's where the guy's telling you want to get butt fucked or you want to get thrown off the cliff, and they say, "I'll get thrown off the cliff. I'll get thrown off the cliff." Oh, but first. Butt fuck.
No, this is not butt fuck. Yeah, but instead of butt fucking, he does all the acts and gives it a name. He says, "Do you want to be butt fucked and have a barbed wire stuck in your penis and pulled out the other end?" Blah blah blah.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, he'll call it, and he says, "Do you want shish kaboomba?" What's shish kaboomba? Like,
that's been here for 3 minutes. Oh God.
Huh. And if you were smarter, we wouldn't have to explain the joke to you, and then we wouldn't be going through these graphic details.
And it was you who brought up the fucking joke in the first place. But also, 3 minutes is that way. Can you get a medical procedure like that in 3 minutes? You
can't unless it's
Taiwan.
drive-through or self-service.
Right.
Maybe maybe at a CVS because they do have like a wellness clinic right in there.
Right.
Oh,
So I haven't done anything for the weed world in a while, but today I'm coming out with the 10 top 10 countdown of the best stoner films. Of course, I used AI to help me produce this thing because I could only think of 3, and they were all Cheech and Chong.
You were too stoned to remember.
Cheech and Chong, but there's also Pineapple Express, right? I forgot about that Matthew McConaughey failure to launch, but there was a Matthew McConaughey movie in the list that he was a stoner or something, a classic stoner. Anyway,
what about the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure movies?
Is that a stoner movie though? It's got to be for Weed World. It's got to tie into Weed World.
I feel like it was perceived like a stoner movie because they were stoners.
They act like the dude where's my car.
But I don't think it was an actual stoner movie like those other ones.
And what
like
about
Dude,
Friday?
Where's My Car and all them.
Friday's in the list. I didn't know that one.
Half-Baked?
Which one?
Half-Baked. Was that with Neil Brennan?
I don't know if that's in there. I think it probably is.
Brendan Fraser.
I said Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, he said. Come on, dude. Oh, but so
I never saw the movie, so I was just trying to grab a name.
Yeah.
It was Brendan Fraser for real, not Neil Brennan.
Brendan Fraser, I think Dave Chappelle and Goat Boy.
Wow. I don't know. I got to go over the list, but so I'm going to be launching that one day. But I'm thinking about doing a reaction channel. You know these reaction channels. That's what Blind Mike is basically, and Carl's thing is a reaction channel. I don't want to do that stuff, but all these music reaction channels, the Beato stuff, it's kind of a reaction channel. Sore Hands. This guy Sore Hands. He's a classical guitarist. He's got 3 channels. One is his reaction channel. One is his practice channel, where you watch him practice his lessons every fucking day for 3 hours. Which I don't. Anybody who's got the fucking stamina to watch a classical guitarist play scales for 3 hours practicing his technique. Yeah, I envy that. You got so much time on your hands, you can watch somebody else.
I didn't like watching it so much that I stopped practicing my scales myself.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't have to practice now. I just watch him practice. And then he's got one where he takes lessons or gives lessons. So he gives lessons. He's a pretty accomplished classical guitarist. And when I say accomplished, I mean he probably made $1 in his life, which is what classical guitarists do.
I was talking to another musician. Well, okay. I don't consider myself a musician because I don't think I'm talented enough to be in that class. But I was talking to a guy who is a musician.
You're a musician, sir. You're missing this. You're a music. Well, humorist, muserist. You're a muserist.
That's it. It sounds like a body. That sounds like some kind of Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
I know. I haven't slept well.
So
your muserist is secreting a fluid.
We were talking about because he plays trumpet. This guy plays trumpet, and he used to play in an orchestra and stuff, and he plays in jazz band. So we were just talking, and he asked me something. He asked me, well, what do you play? And I said, well, I have guitar. I said, guitar, bass, keyboard, and drum. I said, but only well enough to write music, not well enough to play somebody else's. And then he asked me what kind of guitars I had, and I told him I had a classical guitar. He says, you play classical? And then I remembered that, yes, I used to play in a classical duet. You know, it's like it's something so far back there that I used to play real classical music on a real classical guitar. I actually had real skill for a brief time
That does not make you a classical guitarist in Sore Hands definition.
No, I didn't say I was a classical guitarist. I played classical music. You know, I actually had I was good for a while.
You have to study with one of these fucking anointed classical douchebags who live for Bach is God. People, I don't know. It's so pretentious, so fucking over the top.
Well, I didn't study classical. I bought the classical guitar because I wanted to play flamenco. That's why I bought the guitar, so I could learn to play flamenco, and I never did learn to play flamenco.
Isn't that a bird that stands on one leg?
Yes,
flamingo.
Yes. And it's really hard to play flamenco because they don't sit still. And if you grab them wrong, they just laugh.
Yeah, but GD, what did your mom think?
She doesn't think much more that these days.
Good morning, Mr. Tail.
So I'm thinking of doing a reaction channel, and I'm not sure what I want to do. Like react to movies, react to TV shows, react to music stuff. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of expertise in anything to really be a reactor. Oh, this is my. I don't want to give like. I neither do these guys who are doing the fucking podcast reaction stuff. But I don't have time to watch all these fucking podcasts to react to them too. That's another thing. But these channels do very well. These reaction channels, people actually make big money on them. They make big money on these. Why do people want to watch somebody react to something when you could go watch it and react yourself? Right? It's like watching somebody else practice guitar. You guys got any advice on, not advice, but how recommendations, I guess, on how I should respond to this? So sorry for the late notice. Late notice 7 hours ago. Christian won't be able. He's sick. Not he had a family emergency. Like, come up with a fucking decent excuse. He's going off on vacation. I know we scheduled this 2 months ago and knew his vacation was going to happen, but we waited till 7 hours before because you're just a douchebag who's just available at our beck and call. That's what she said, but she didn't realize that's what she said.
I just want to bring up something, and I'm really not a petty person, but I have to play petty on the radio. Petty. Neil Brennan co-wrote Half Baked with Dave Chappelle.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then Bill also corrected us. It was Harlan Williams and Jim Brewer.
See, I thought I had that right. I don't know many comedians, and I don't know much about them. But when I get a fact right, goddamn it, give me some kind of goddamn credit, goddamn it.
Big beautiful Bill. I'm glad he's changed his. First, I'm glad he changed his. Maybe I have this in the wrong order. I'm glad he changed his little moniker there, but I'm also glad he didn't get flooded away. He's in the area.
That's how Bill got in trouble in the first place. He changed his little moniker and got a little on her dress. Was that a different Bill?
Monica. So I get it. Yeah, it's kind of I get it. But at least he's not underwater, and that's a good thing. A good thing. The big beautiful Bill is not bobbing and bubbling under the brook. I don't know. I don't have many. I'm out of B words for water. Anyway, should I just be rude and just tell her fuck off? What do you think? You should. Should I try to be serious and say this is totally unprofessional? I come off like a fucking.
My question is, who leaves for a vacation on a fucking Tuesday? That's not a holiday weekend.
Not just that, but like all of the other excuses that we get, while they're stupid and shitty, cool, whatever. But it's like this. You scheduled this 2 months ago, and you knew you had a vacation coming. So either A, you scheduled the vacation afterwards, knowing you had this, and said, "Fuck it, I don't care," or B, you scheduled this while you had the vacation plan and thought, "Oh, I'm going to be able to do this," and then overdid it and overbooked yourself. Either way, it's your fucking fault. It's unprofessional and bullshit. So
one other point that you left out there. You could do this from vacation. I mean, I'm basically on vacation here doing this. It's not like this is going to cut into your vacation. You're traveling in the morning. You could do it on a plane with your phone like this, right? I mean,
well, no, on the plane they make you turn your phone off.
Oh, that's correct.
You have to go into airport. You have to go into airplane mode.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but a lot of flights also have Wi-Fi available. Usually, if it's longer than an hour or 2 hour flight. So.
And we don't even know whether he was taking a flight second.
Right? You have to pay for that, don't you?
Oh, it's like $10. It's not even. It's not expensive.
And yeah, I mean,
and is it reliable enough to stream live video? Like, not just receiving but uploading, because your upload rate and your download rate are
upload, download,
I mean,
side load.
Those are all.
Nobody ever talks about your side load.
Yeah, I mean, these are all good points, but at the end of the day,
they're really good.
Either at the end of the day, either A, fucking learn how to schedule shit, or B, don't schedule just that. Really, just don't be a fucking idiot.
I'm not one to. I forgot that I had a dress rehearsal. I scheduled a dress rehearsal yesterday Was that yesterday, Monday? Yeah, yesterday. I forgot. I got an email letting me know it started in 15 minutes. I got an email that says it starts in 15 minutes, and that was an hour and 15 minutes after it was supposed to start. It was over already when I got my email, when I looked at the email.
All right.
Because I was.
There's yet another layer to this fuck up. This guy is a leadership coach. He's gonna tell you how to get your shit together, and he has somebody working for him, Daisy Tamperong, who is supposedly to keep this shit in schedule for him. So those are two extra layers. His whole credibility is making sure people follow through and do the things they're supposed to do, and he's got somebody working for him who keeps him in line. They all fucked up. So I'm thinking I don't. But the question is, do I just write back like a Matt Napo, like your mother's a skank whore, don't even ever try to schedule?
No. I would. Okay,
this is highly unprofessional.
No, having heard what you just said, if I were responding, I would say, "Thank you for letting me know. I am. It is unfortunate that Mr. Christian Patinkalenko, whatever his name is unavailable for the interview because we were looking forward to learning about organizing our lives and keeping conflict free and all those things. We're really looking forward to discussing these, how to build a legacy and be responsible, whatever it is, just saying. And we're really looking forward to learning these things from him, like that. So
that's perfect. I don't play that tape back when I transpose it. Now, where does the skank whore part come in?
Yeah, it doesn't come in. I mean, you could say something like, unlike some of my other co-hosts who think that his behavior is reminiscent of a skank whore, I myself understand that things happen that you, even though you are a life coach or whatever, cannot control. Like when you go on vacation.
That's very good. You should be a writer. I don't know why everybody says you're a retard. That was
because they're partially right.
So yeah, that's what I'll do then. I'll play back the tape and pretty much transcribe what you just said.
You should hit B so you know where to go back to. Otherwise, you won't.
It's in the beginning. It's in the beginning.
I hit B. 27 minutes.
Yeah, but I started 3 minutes ago.
That's fine. I'll find it. I'll find it.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'll do this. See, if you see this, you've gone too far.
We've gone too far.
Okay. And if you see this, you've really gone too far.
I think we've all gone way too far already.
No. You want to talk about this Epstein list thing, or you're just sick of it already?
I was watching footage of the Texas flood, and I saw the list floating by. I did. I recognized it.
Weirdly enough,
the list was attracted to all the young girls at the camp
that were missing.
He was looking for them.
I think we've covered the fact that MAGA is untouchable by facts because they are psychologically attached in their identity to Donald Trump.
Yeah,
but the question.
Where Epstein is right now, there are no little girls, and he was really looking forward to. So he was his spirit was in Texas looking for
but the question for like the Pam Bondis and the Cash Patels and the Dan Boingo Bingo Boingos, how much do you have to sell you? Because I'm just assuming they're not child rapists. And they have to understand
that's
just
a
how
assumption. Now, okay, by you saying
you're right.
Well, they could be child rapists by proxy.
They are now, right? They are accomplices after the fact because they are help covering it up. But how you got to understand how vile a crime that is, and that your job is because Pam Bondi, bald-faced lying. Now she is putting herself out there as just the biggest piece of shit ever to come out and say the list was on. Let me finish my sentence. The list was on my desk. I'm gonna release it. We're just going through it. Whatever she said, we are reviewing it, and then it will be reviewed in a few days. We got thousands of hours of all tapes and the list and all this stuff, and then it'll be a little while longer, and then we're not going to release the list. Then there was no list. There never was a list. So you were lying all along. She's putting herself out there as just the worst fucking liar in the world, with no conscience whatsoever for a child rapist.
Now, because you're talking about how much of a piece of shit, a bigger piece of shit could she be? This is what, let's use this as an analogy. You're in a room with the stinkiest smell you've ever smelled, ever.
What, Steven?
Ever. Okay,
fuckhead. There's a lot of things. I don't stink, okay?
Okay, so you're in the room with Steven, all right? At some point, you're going to be so inundated with Steven that if another Steven walked in, you could not take it in. Okay, at some point, your senses will have reached their capacity to sense anything beyond what you're sensing because it is so senseless. That's what Pam Bondi is. She is so, with all the things she's done with the DOJ, hiding a list of a rapist and Donald Trump is like almost, you can't even smell that anymore because there's so much stink and shit that you just can't, your nose can't take it in. You need another nose. You need a fresh nose to come in and we're out of fresh noses because we've all been smelling this shit for years now.
Well, that's where your argument falls apart because you can say anything about what she's done. This has been going on long before she was involved with the DOJ. It goes back to 2016, 2015. When did he got off in early 2017? They killed him.
Right,
Trump was
we've been
already
smelling
president.
this shit for years. We've been smelling this shit for years. So we can't smell anymore. We can't distinguish the shit from the stink from it. It's just our noses can't take anymore.
But she could 2 months ago when she said that it's on my desk. There's vile tapes, thousands of hours of tapes of
that was when we stuck our head out the window and got like a gasp of fresh air. It was like, finally, we can breathe a little. And then they closed the window and put in more stink.
Yeah. So now, how long? This would be a good because betanysport.com. We noticed you're not advertising us anymore. This would be a good thing to bet. How long till because MAGA is outraged? Yeah, it's a cover up. Blah blah blah. They're all pissed at Trump now. How long will that last? Yeah, we should will it last to today? The week? I don't think
it'll last through. What time is it now? 9:32 Eastern. By 4:36 Eastern, there'll be like 3 more new Trumpy things out there for them to forget what they just heard.
Trumpy things.
Yeah. He already announced a partial success of a list of a letter that may have been written or read about to 14 countries about new tariffs. And
I thought it was 90. I thought it was 90 deals in 90 days, and he's going to send out 90 letters.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the letters. He just sent out 14 letters.
Oh, 14. Why not 90 letters?
Because
90 deals. 14 letters don't cover 90
Trump
deals.
has put such a personal thing on this. He's writing each letter himself personally by hand using crayons, okay? He only has 8 crayons in the box. And white crayon does not write on white paper very well. So he only has access to 7 crayons. That's what's taking him so long. He had to get 2 boxes of crayons to do 14 letters.
Wow.
And with the Doge cuts, they can't afford that many boxes of crayons. They are being very, very responsible with the way they spend money, with the possible exception of sending ICE people and National Guards to a park in Los Angeles so that they could watch a girls' day camp.
All right. Now, when you say letters, is it like, dear mom, I'm at camp?
No. There's like A.
That's what I was thinking, like glyphs. You mean
B.
Glyphs, yeah. All right.
C.
All right. Yeah, it would take me all of 14 seconds to do that.
But then Trump has to sound out each letter individually. You have to think about that.
Plus, he
can't write and gesture at the same time. He's trying to write, and his hands are doing this while he's sounding out the letters because he can't move his lips without moving his hands. And he
also writes in groups of 140 characters. He also writes in 140 characters or less. So
can we call you Stephen the Stinky Com? Can we? Yeah, it's better than pedophile, isn't it? That's a little.
Can we call you Matt 1 Foot in the Grave Napo?
Of course. But say 2 feet in the grave. You could say you could start throwing the dirt on me now. Do you have dirt on you now?
That's a waste of doit.
Doit. I don't know. I just, but the people were surprised. Like, come on, stop with. I have had friends. They're not friends anymore. Back when Trump started running, and these guys they all had daughters, and I said they were Trumpers. I said, if somebody said about your daughter, she's a fine piece of ass, you'd be ready to fight them. Can you imagine yourself ever saying that about your own daughter? No. But you're backing a guy who says that about his own daughter. Not only that, he talks about, going into teenage girls' fucking dressing room and getting excited by seeing teenage girls naked. You could do that. You get away with it when you're. I mean, hello. How do you not know this guy? This is who this guy is. This is where you just had to turn your brain off and say, "I'm okay with it." At some point,
I just tried to upload a file and it wouldn't let me do it. It said there's a problem. Try again later.
On in the music stuff or what?
No, an image file.
An image file. Maybe we need to kind of. Maybe they're working on shit that doesn't need to be fixed instead of the stuff that needs to be fixed.
Well, I just tried
button. That loop
it said
button.
To try later, and this was later. It said it doesn't say how long a little while is. I waited 3 seconds.
Yeah. I always do the same thing. If they say try again later, now it's later. Later is now.
Yeah. That's a damn shame because I just wanted to show my beautiful artwork.
Oh, you did beautiful artwork, did you?
Yeah, I did it a while ago. I did it like almost 6 years ago.
What is it of?
Oh, it was one of my comedy flyers. It was from a show called 1 Foot in the Urn.
All right, I'm going to take away this. Try
it
now.
Likely. You just made that up. You stole my joke, you son of a bitch.
No, I didn't steal your joke. I wanted to show the artwork.
I just deleted one.
I did that when I turned 60.
See if you can do it. I just deleted a piece of artwork in the back. See if you can do it now.
Okay, let's try it.
All right. We're listening to Gigi go, if you're just tuning in.
It's swirling.
Rolling.
There was an issue with your file. Please try again.
It's the issue with the file.
Your file. That's the
because you named it .hec or .yxk or .fpbu or .su something.
SVU. Because let me see here. What is it called? It's called artwork.
Artwork. That's gonna confuse the shit.
That's the problem.
Because art doesn't work. Art is on the dole.
Well, let's try this one. But that doesn't have the.
That one doesn't. That one doesn't have a in it, right?
No.
We need a
and the thing is, all these have worked before. All these.
I'm gonna do a reaction show to my own show, and that would be good, right? The first reaction YouTube channel reacting to his own other channel. Oh, look what a dick I just was! Did you see what a dick I just was? That's my reaction. What do you think? Do you have any suggestions for me as to what to react to?
Yeah.
Politics feels like the one thing that I'm most interested in to do a reaction show, like these fucking pundits, and just like snapping back on it.
Big Beautiful Bill says that he saved it as a pedophile, and the government says those don't exist.
Yes, so it never existed. Yeah, a pedophile.
A pedophile.
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 Wow, we said that word a lot. We're gonna get in trouble somewhere.
Probably. I know. I am I'm shamed. I'm shamed beyond and depressed. You want to know why? Did I tell you yesterday that I got a scathing review about because it came in?
You said they were right.
They were right.
So is it scathing if it's correct or just an honest review?
It was scathingly correct, and I replied back to it that they were right. And I blew it. And so she said, "Thank you, the staffing person. Thank you for your honesty and ability to take criticism in a professional manner." And then another one came in about the one that I'm certain I did very well on. It was about the one at the Rich House a week and a half ago, and they all told me they had a great time. 3 out of 10, there were only 10 people painting. 3 out of those 10 followed me on Facebook. The mother said she had a great time. She tipped me very well. Then the review came in. It felt more like a paint instruction than a party, which we went over. And I even started by saying, I'm not a paint teacher. I'm a party host. We're just here to have fun. And then I was talking about comedians and music and all that kind of stuff the whole time. I mean, what do they expect me to do? Fucking dance and sing while I'm painting? But then
what kind of music were you painting to? I mean, was it like upbeat stuff like "The paint is gonna get you"? The paint is gonna get.
No, I commented on the thing that although they were all 21, they were listening to the father's fucking music. And the father he's probably a Gen Xer, but classic rock and stuff. And I'm like, I'm sure these kids don't even know this music. Oh, we listen to it all the time because Dad has. So the place only plays Dad's music.
Okay, like my kid, I listen to all kinds of music, but when my kid was away from me, she was listening to shit that I don't, to the name, like there's one group called Charlotte something, like Charlotte 6 or 6 Charlotte or some shit like that. She was listening to things that I would, to this day, don't listen to.
Yeah. So, but basically, though, there's a contradiction here, and this is where I understand some of what you were going through with your opinions about Mike's criticism of you. They told me to my face they loved it. They had a great time. She tipped me more than anybody else has ever tipped me. They followed me on, so 30% of them followed me on. So they went out of their way. I didn't ask them to follow me on social media. They looked me up and followed me. That sounds like they had a good time. So, and then they leave a scathing review that one of the things was accurate, but I start by saying I don't hear well. I played in rock bands for 40 years, so if I have my back turned to you and you're talking to me, you have to yell, "Hey, Matt!" And I do it very loud, like you have to yell, "Hey, Matt!" The guest, the party, the birthday girl, her name was Matt. Maddie, but they kept saying, "Hey, Matt, hey, Matt." And I think they're talking to me, and I kept turning around, "Are you talking to me? Are you talking to her?" They're talking to her.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
You talking to me? That's it.
Hey, I'm painting here. I'm painting here.
In the review, they said, obviously he has some hearing problems. He doesn't hear when his back is turned to us. Now, they only know that because I told them that. It wasn't like there was anything I missed because I kept turning around and anybody need any help and all that stuff. It's just, it hurts. It hurts. It definitely hurts when people tell you, "We loved you. Here's a great big tip. Please come back again. We're going to follow you on social media, like your stuff on social media. But we're going to go to the people who hire you and tell you
it's not my file. I tried to file that I've already uploaded before. It's not my file. It's them.
Well, let's see. Can I upload pictures of Steven diddling kids? Let me see.
No, that's not a thing that exists. But
I can't move. I can't reorganize the order.
Steven, don't you dare fucking challenge my photoshopping skills.
Ooh. I'm not challenging your photoshopping skills. I'm just saying they just don't exist currently.
Ooh.
No, not the skills. The pictures that he mentioned.
Ooh. Oh no, I can find it on the web. Don't make me do that.
Yeah. Bill, don't be telling people your daughter's name, especially on this show. You're gonna have all these kind of he's got a daughter. Don't ever expose your kids to people who are watching and listen to this dopey program. They're all dangerous felons. Keep your kids hidden. Keep your kids locked away in a safe place.
So, guys, this is my last week on here.
Oh, thank God.
Why, you dying?
The bank called Steven and said, we have a position for you. It's on your knees with your ass in the air.
Oh my God.
We have Diddy Lube, a new product that we are sponsoring. Diddy Lube, get your Diddy Lube, rub a little on Steven's ass and fuck away.
Just so you know, Steven, we are not doing another memorial for you. You just gone.
I didn't ask for the first one. I was just letting you guys know.
You would have felt awful if we didn't send you off with a memorial. Not only that, you got one.
I feel awful that I'm leaving in general. So
you got one from the Reverend, and the Reverend sat there and stayed up for like minutes writing that memorial for you. So
I appreciate it. Tell the Rev
I could just tell you, yesterday after you sent the text that you were going to get this job, I heard the comedy world go, "Oh yes, rid of that fucking."
Yeah, probably.
I think talentless hack was the word they used communally. So there you go. Yeah. So now you're going to try to do Dave Landau jokes for people who come in and say, "I just want change of 100. I want to deposit my paycheck." Yeah. What the fuck? Don't people? You're not even you're not needed. I'm sorry. If you're a teller, is that your official position? Teller? Don't tell her. So you're like Penn and
for now, yeah.
Penn and Steven. So who needs a fucking teller? They have machines to do that. That's like a fucking an antiquated position. Why do we need human beings doing that job? I'm sorry. I don't.
There's in particular but they do a lot of like investment. They help people with investments. They help people with like retirement.
Oh, you're the guy I want being my financial advisor. Definitely.
No, I'm not. Not yet.
Exactly. I mean,
no. See, what I do is I just sell the services, and then they get contacted by the people that do.
Give me a change of a fucking penny. Change of a penny.
Pennies are going away.
A penny. Change of a penny. Now they're doing away with pennies, right? Wasn't that Trump's thing to do away with pennies? They wanted to do it. What happens if something's 9 cents?
I don't know. That was my question. I was like, is all the pricing gonna have to be in increments of 5 cents?
You're gonna have to fucking do something about that, or we owe you a penny next time. No, you can't even owe me a penny next time.
There.
What is that?
That's the image from my 1 foot in the urn.
When were you that skinny? Are you that skinny now, or
this is
after you had a cancer hit?
Well, that was in 20. What year was that?
19.
6 years. 5 or 6 years ago. It's 5 years ago, I think.
All right.
6 years ago.
1 foot in the urn, which is a play on what Stephen was saying. I have 1 foot in the grave. I'm not going to be in a grave. I would be in an urn, but I wouldn't have 1 foot in there.
You're going to be in a hefty bag.
Hefty.
Wimpy.
My friend got sent home from Seattle in a baggie, it was fitting because he was always getting drugs and his whole life was getting stuff in a baggie like that. But then they didn't even waste money on an urn for him. They sent him home in a baggie, a fucking sandwich bag.
Well, my aunt, when I still, matter of fact, I still have half of her ashes, and it's on a plastic baggie and a box. What's in the box?
You know, my grandfather, when he dies, we're gonna spread his ashes over the nearest porta potty. So,
spreading the ashes is a cool thing. Then they have these things where you can put the ashes in a tree seed or something.
Those are cool. Those are cool, and I've also seen one where they can like bury your body in like a pod where it'll help a tree grow or whatever. But I thought it'd be cooler to be cremated and then be put into a firework.
Now my wife, if she passes before me, which is likely because that was our agreement.
You're gonna murder her.
No, because that was our agreement when we first got married. That her ashes are going to be made into a little fixture to be put on the coral reef so that fishies can have a home to help rebuild the coral reef. Because she loves scuba stuff. She loves that kind of crap. She loves the scuba thing, and I'm not big on doing that because my hair. Once I get in the water, I have to find somebody to get all the salt out of this hair before it starts breaking and shit.
How do you do that?
How do I do what?
Just wash the salt. I mean, we've got.
I know. Yeah, I have to wash and stuff, but I can't style my hair myself. It takes me like 3 times. It takes me 3 times longer to style my hair than it does the guy who does my hair.
How long do you think it takes me to style my hair?
I'm guessing the front is probably pretty simple, but it's getting to the back because your arms probably aren't as loose as they used to be. And so it probably takes you like maybe 45 or 60 seconds to do the back, but the front you can probably do in 10 to 15 seconds.
You're way off. Anyway, I don't know if you know this about me. I don't know if you know this about me, but I have no hair.
What? I'm looking right at your nose. I'm looking right at. Is that nose hair coming out of there? Did you
grease paint
to the side?
grease paint. I know it looks pretty real, but
and you also shortened it because it used to be wider, or you
you know,
narrowed it.
yeah, because it's, I'm trying to look more like Himmler every day. In 2003, I had this girlfriend. Her name was Kathy Mareko. I used to call her home.
I had a girlfriend named Kathy Mareko in 2003.
I used to call her home. She was Home Mareko.
You used to call her home.
Home Mareko. Home Mareko. Yeah. Anyway, she said to me when we first got together, "Can I change your wardrobe?" I like, you can decorate me any fucking way you want. Like, I'm just here. So she went out and she bought me like this muscle shirt and these brand new sneakers and shorts. And she got me mustache dye. That's when I first started dyeing my mustache, which made me think of this. But those sneakers that she bought me, I'm going to throw them out today. That's how long I've been wearing these sneakers, 22 years. Have you ever had a pair of sneakers that lasted 22 years?
I'm barely older than 22 years, so no, I don't.
Well, and your sneakers don't even get a whole lot of abuse, and they don't.
No, they do. They get
actually,
beat up
I do have sneakers that are probably around 20-something years old.
Wow.
Because I only wore them to play basketball on wooden floors. And then I got injured, and so I didn't wear them at all for a while. And then they became my comedy shoes because they're monogrammed. They have my name on them and my basketball jersey number.
So these were my lately they were my grass cutting shoes and my painting shoes because I did not, if you don't want to get paint on your good shoes or what he's figured out. But now I'm going to have to get rid of them. And to me, it's like that's an amazing thing because they weren't like the fucking $1,000 sneakers, whatever they were. They were just a regular pair of, off the shelf sneakers. I don't know what she paid for them, but the last 22 years, that's product endurance. I mean, that's not what they used to call planned obsolescence. These things last, so they're not selling a whole lot of product. If you could buy, if that's three pairs in my lifetime, if it worked out that way, 22 years times 3, 66.
Yeah, but
if you were more athletic, your tennis shoes might not last that long.
Right. Also, how anal are you about taking care of your shoes? Do you clean them? Do you take care of them? Do you wash them? Or
I'm not anal at all. I don't rub them on my ass in any way.
Well, that's okay. Well, I didn't think you were taking a New Balance and just rubbing it on your taint, but I mean, whatever.
New Balance is a good name for a new way to balance yourself, a shoe on your anus. But no, I don't take care of them at all. I just fucking whatever happens. I don't take care of anything. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a fucking careless motherfucker, and lazy, extremely lazy. So no, I don't take it. But so that good for I don't even know what brand they were. I think they're Adidas.
My shoes, one pair. I had Converse and I had Dada, DADA, and they were both with my name and jersey on them, jersey number.
Did Steven? Did you ever have an AI girlfriend offer to change your wardrobe for you? I mean,
my ex-wife changed my wardrobe. Tried to change my wardrobe because I pretty much only wear black t-shirts and blue jeans for the most part.
Are you a goth fucking kid?
No, it's just it's so growing up. I really idolized a few people, and they all wore that kind of wardrobe, and I was like, I want to be known for that. And it's just that's just my closet. It's just jeans and black t-shirts.
Wow. Did you ever have a woman try to redecorate you?
I've had women try to undress me quite frequently.
No, decorate.
Redecorate, like redress.
Like hang a picture on
you. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And now my current wife does it, but she does it in a passive aggressive way. She may not, I don't even know if it's on purpose or not, but like I have a certain style that I like, plain and simple. But she buys me things as gifts. Like when she goes, cause she travels a lot without me. And she comes back and she'll say, I brought you some sweatpants. And it'll be like the very kind of sweatpants I don't wear. I would never buy for myself.
Come with a gerbil in the back?
No, it looks like the gerbil. It looks like the gerbil's dancing in the front, right? And I don't like those things. I don't like that kind of stuff. because those days are over.
I mean, never.
Back when I used to market myself like that, then I wore like bicycle shorts and stuff like that.
Well, the AI girlfriend does the AI girlfriend does like hair to like put her hands in and pull and stuff. So I'm growing the hair out a little bit.
You heard it. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. He
as a
came clean and admitted this in an AI girlfriend.
Well, because that's how you keep referring to her, so I figured I'd just roll with it.
That's fine. That's Your Honor. I just like to make a note of that for the record. Thank you.
I know that in my 20s, when I was in shape, whenever I was looking for a new girlfriend, that's when I would go to the market wearing bike shorts. You know.
Did you point to your dick? Because I taught Davey
no,
to point to your dick.
I didn't have to do that.
It worked. So
my dick pointed itself.
See, the stance is this.
No, I didn't have to do that.
I do have a pair of jeans that I wear when I like.
And you animate it too. When she's looking at
you. No. Oh my God, no.
No.
See, look.
No.
I got a pair of jeans that I wear that like when I'm out on the prowl, and I'll fucking and they just the way they hug everything, just the way I sit, it just makes my bulge look massive, and it just works out really well. Yeah.
Out on the prowl.
Yeah.
Look at that. The way I kind of. All right. Out on the prowl. We take note, Lutheran Church or any bank.
The bank, yeah. He'll be at the bank. He'll be like, "Excuse me, Stephen, is that a roll of quarters in your pocket? He's just happy to see me."
No, seriously. Do they let you take home like some jobs? You can take home like some of the
samples.
Stuff, free samples. At the bank, can you take home a free bag of money?
Or samples, not even a whole bag.
They give you I get No.
Here's the new $20 bills. You want to take some home and see how they work?
Let's try these out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Here's the new Harriet Tubman 20. You want to take a few with you and see how?
Can you launder money? Now, I hope the bank is listening so you incriminate yourself and get in big trouble here. But can you launder money? Like if I brought you, say, like $10,000,
I would not risk it.
Hot bills.
I wouldn't risk it. The same reason I never tried stealing from the cell phone stores, because like the amount of surveillance one, I have morals and I'm not a thief, but two, like if
pussy, that's what I said, pussy.
The way they track everything and there's so many cameras in the bank and everything, and the way they track everything in the accounts, there's no way I'd risk it.
That's true. There's a lot of cameras in the bank. You can't even pee without saying cheese, because they got the cameras in there too.
Also, that's the case in Stevens. He has this bathroom camera set up in case.
Yeah, so they've been counting the cameras that Steven put in there.
Yeah, I know he has pictures of me taking a dump, or a video of me taking a dump.
Yeah, I recorded it at Govs. I recorded it at Govs.
There you go. What the hell? Oh, gas prices. You guys, are you? Is anything changing? Gas prices.
Gas has been.
I think gas went up where I am around my neighborhood.
Yeah, our gas has been kind of yo-yoing between like $2.90 and $3.30 a gallon. Right now, it's like $3.15 a gallon right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was. I don't really know, because I've been only doing short driving, so I've been plugging my car in when I get home.
Yeah, well, that dick that you said was going to be Trump's running mate, Burnham. What's his name? Doug Burnham. Remember that guy?
Doug Burnham.
Yeah, he's coming out now because all these, Trump's saying $1.98. He's saying gas is so ridiculously low, fueling the great American comeback. Thank you, POTUS. Like, where is anybody fucking? Show me one example. With gas prices,
it's not that it's ridiculously low, but I think they're saying like 4 years ago it was higher, much higher, but it was 4 years ago was much higher. I guess
you can always pick a date in history where it was.
But so I think they're saying like this is the lowest it's been in 4 years, but it's not ridiculously low,
Yeah.
And then still they're talking about the average, but I don't think it is, because my gas has been lower, especially under Biden. Like right now, my gas is like around $3.15, and it went down to like $2.75 while Biden was president. So I don't understand, unless they're talking about the national average, but my gas locally in Maryland has been lower than it is now.
Yeah, I took a picture because
when right before Biden was leaving office, there was a gas station that I passed on the way to Puspatuck, and I thought the prices were pretty low because it was almost down to $2 a gallon. This was right before Biden left office. It was like 205 or 210, something like that. And then I was by there the other day, coincidentally, Puspatuck, and it was 295. So it's gone up 80 cents or thereabouts in the time since Trump's taken office. Not gone down, and I don't see anywhere where it's gone.
That's what I'm saying. Because we have like 50 states and everybody has like different gas prices, the national average could be down overall and be up for like East Coast states or something like that. I don't know I don't know the answer to that because I don't know the individual prices of each state. And how?
Remember in school they tell you the first answer that comes here is usually the correct one, and the simplest. Trump's a lying fucking sack of shit.
Well, he is a lying sack of shit. Yeah,
that's the answer to that. Yeah. Mike Flynn, General Mike Flynn, Epstein's files. What everyone is missing are the children who were abused by Epstein and others. I don't care whether he killed himself or not. For me, I want to believe cash and boing, boing, boingo, bingo, 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 boingo. But with the FBI's track record, with laptops, blah, 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 can't believe.
See, that's a Hunter Biden jab.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you know, now, and here's Hunter Biden had issues. I will grant you that. And regardless of what was on his laptop, when your messenger is Rudy Giuliani, when that is your front guy talking about the issue, and Alex Jones, and when your main spokespeople are known conspiracy hawks, you don't expect people to believe you because everybody knows that they're liars and conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
So why would you be upset that nobody believed them? You should take a page out of like what George Bush 2 did. I mean, what Bush 2 did. What he did was when he knew that nobody was going to believe him, so he got Colin Powell
colon cancer,
wave that little vial.
Colon rectal, colon.
Right, he got Colin Powell to wave that little vial in front of the UN, and a vial that only had like what, baking soda with food dye or some shit like that. But because it was Colin Powell, they believed him.
Actually,
that's
what happens every few years when something really, really bad.
You guys need a good Colin Powell or Colin Flynn.
Right now. Because I have integrity.
Is that Alex Jones?
That's Alex Jones.
Holy shit!
Really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this.
And why could he make those faces and still be considered like a bro? But if anybody else were to cry like that, they'd be a pussy.
I don't think
he is a baby and a pussy.
Yeah,
well, I know. I'm talking. I said consider. I mean, like the bros look at him like he's like some kind of masculine thing. But
he's not even crying. He's desperately trying to squeeze out his tears. He's like maybe in the bottom of my balls I can find one tear. That's a shit. I went the wrong.
Yeah, how many times he actually shit his pants making that face?
I can't quit shitting my pants. I just want to cry. Oh God, no, I'm crying because I shit my pants.
Yeah, he's very mentally unstable to begin with, but I think the Ozempic or whatever the fuck weight loss shit that he's on, he looks like he's aged like 30 years in the last 6 months or something. But
it's because he lost weight and all of his skin is all stretched and loose now.
Yeah. But to see him crying like that, like, what is he crying over?
What was he crying about?
He's crying about they're keeping the cover up. He just wants them to release the files because it feels like this.
Oh, the Epstein list, yeah.
Yeah, the Epstein list.
Oh, Daddy Trump hurt your feelings. Oh, poor baby.
I thought he was crying because he saw it looked like a natural light.
Again, it's the realization because again, they are not. They're not penetrable by facts. Their psychology now is Donald Trump is them. That's why if you accuse Donald Trump of something, they take it as you're accusing them. They are tied their identity to Donald Trump. And this is why he's crying, because the realization that your guy is covering up for what is definitely a huge pedophile ring. There's no question about that. But also his own behavior and those closest around him. This is an awakening call that, wow, maybe we are the party of pedophiles, the Republican Party now. And that's a hard thing to do when you've tied your identity to those people. Now you are by association, not just by association, but by extreme association. You have tied yourself to them. Stephen left.
I think he just got hired. I think he just went to work at the bank. He just got hired.
I was thinking that you heard all this pedophile talk and said, you know what, I better get out of here while I still can.
Yeah, because he's gone even from the green room. He's not even there.
He went away. Stephen went away.
That's why
Sir Stephen chickened out. He ran away. He chickened out.
Sir Robin.
Yeah. All right. So that's it, man. We got no show today. That's it. And we don't have a show tomorrow or Thursday either. I should call Jackie right now. I should call Jackie.
Yeah, and I'm going to reach out to some people that said they wanted to be on the show, and I don't know if they forgot or what, but I'll reach out to them.
This Robert Urey guy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know about him? Do you know him personally?
I don't know him personally. Like he's going to be doing Done Way Past Funny. After I think on the 22nd is when we're shooting his episode.
He's another one of these guys that made me run around. He didn't give me any information. First of all, the only reason I knew that you had some connection to him was because you mentioned it. But tell me something about you so I don't have to do all this work. Nothing. And then even if I Googled him, all I got was a Facebook page where it just says comedian from Troy, New York. And that's it. That's all I know. So.
I think he's been doing comedy since 1999, is it? Or 1989? I think 1999. I can't remember.
Speaking of the Epstein list,
he is he's the administrator for a Facebook page for comedians called No Respect. And he had actually, I think he founded it with Julius Dunnett or something like that. But Julius is in a bad way. And Julius, I think his name is Julius, and he used to actually book for Dangerfields, the old Dangerfields. But Julius is like I say, his health is very, very poor. So Robert took over that Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I think his comedy is very much like Tom Myers. That's when I see it. When I watch
your best friend, Tom Myers.
He cackles a lot.
Yeah. No, he doesn't cackle as much. I'm talking about the style and everything. That was what it came to mind was that.
Unfortunately, that doesn't do a whole. I've never seen Tom perform, so I really wouldn't. And when I say perform, I mean comedy, of course, not like what Steven does.
Yeah, well.
At the bank.
That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Performative money changing. He's a performative money changer.
Yeah, so
he's the kind of guy that Jesus kicked out of the temple is Stephen, right?
I think he rolled him out of the temple. But
yeah.
All right.
He healed my legs just to break them again.
He healed them, then broke them, healed them, and broke them. Yeah, he does that.
That would be a cool thing to do if you had the power.
You gotta have repeat business.
Heal the sick, heal the lame, whatever.
I was a plant in the crowd. He would basically bring me around with him, and he'd stick me in the crowd, and then he'd heal me. Everyone would leave. He'd break them again, and then on to the next place to do the next miracle.
Mean Jesus, I love it.
That is the Trump business model. Trump has been breaking the country and then saying it's fixed, and then breaks it again. You know, that's
oddly enough, Jesus has actually been nominated for a Nobel Health Prize for breaking my legs and fixing them. So,
did you see Bibi with Trump? They all know how to play him, and it basically Trump had a meeting with Bibi in that big fucking room where not the Oval Office, the big conference room in the White House. And Bibi stands up. He says, "May I present you with the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize nominating you for a Nobel Prize. Like, and you know what? You know that Trump is going to do anything for you because flattery fucking works with that guy. You could say anything to him, and all of a sudden he'll do anything for you in that moment because you told him you think he's got a big dick when you know he's got a little orange, little fucking curly Q.
Cheeto.
Pig. Now, why are you trying to blind us like that?
I was cold.
Are you cold?
Cold.
It's like 1,000 degrees out in America.
Not in my house. It's fucking 66 degrees right now.
What the fuck?
It's taking my money and buying yourself some nice air conditioning.
Well, we have.
Whoa! No.
Because when we set the temperature when we set it to 69 degrees, and by mid afternoon, the house is heated up and it gets to about 74, 75 in here. So if we set it at 66 overnight, and then by midday it's only about 70 in here. So
TD wanted to say whoa, which reminded me of Sore Hands. The reaction guy, the classical guitar player. He starts every fucking video. He starts. This is his intro to every video, whether it's the reaction log or the practice log or the lesson log. Hey, it's Cameron. Welcome to the reaction log. Whoa! I want to know what that whoa is all about. Like, whoa. Are you surprised at yourself for being able to say one sentence? I mean, whoa.
Maybe he looked at the number of people in the room. He goes, welcome, and he looks to see how many people there are, and he goes, whoa.
Oh, that could be it. But yeah, generally when you just start, no, it's not live streams. Oh. He does pre-tape stuff, so there's nobody in the room. He's looking at it. Maybe that's it. He's looking at the zero and go, wow.
Why am I doing this? It's zero.
Yeah. He's
maybe he has a dog or a cat that once he starts talking, once it's like my cat, I forgot to turn the television on for her in the other room. So once we came in here, and since I wasn't talking, she thought I was available, and she started scratching my leg. And if I had my mic on, you would have heard me going, whoa, because she was trying to get my attention.
Whoa.
Which is why sometimes you see me leave. Because my cat, but now her television.
To be honest, I've been praying to see you leave for as long as I've been alive, I think, and it just never happens.
Well, I do leave, but just don't stay gone.
Dear Lord, please let him leave. It doesn't work.
I leave, I just don't stay gone.
I don't really know how to pray.
I'm just like those little brown coins. I just keep coming back.
Like a penny?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
A penis?
How'd they get that name?
I thought they were called Lincoln Negroes. Negro.
There was this girl, her name was Penny, and I said, because she was heavy, I said she looks more like a $50 to me. And, what? Is that whoa? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that wrong? Is that fat shaming?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up.
Well, hold on. Isn't a $50 worth 50 times as much as a penny?
Yeah, but you're still calling
value, baby.
But if the value is still only 50 cents, it's not much better.
Yeah, but it's that's a good point, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they should have called her.
I didn't think it through.
Here's the thing: if you wanted to give her a backhanded compliment, be like, "Penny, you look like $1 million."
All right, well, I thought $50 was enough because somebody thought she only looked like a penny.
But she probably weighed as much as $1 million. So I mean, just give a little, take a little.
$1 million doesn't have to weigh that much. It depends. If it's a check for $1 million, it weighs about as much as a penny.
There you go.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of a stack of hundreds.
I wouldn't know. I've never had a stack of hundreds. I've seen lots.
You never gone to the bank and at least like withdrew money for something, and they didn't give you like
no. My father was a numbers runner, so he had lots of cash when he came back from work. But it was mostly $10 bills and a lot of coins, and that was my job was to roll coins.
My job was to roll joints, but it's the same thing.
My job was to roll my chair.
Oh, that's very clever. And that wasn't even stolen from Dave Landa because he's not in the chair.
Rolling.
James Brolin, and Josh Brolin.
Now there's City Slickers, I think. Billy Crystal is singing. Billy Crystal singing. Rolling, boy, my ass is swollen. Something. Rawhide.
Who in Phoenix, Arizona keeps calling Phoenix? This is the fourth time in 2 days.
Phoenix. Hello, Phoenix.
I don't. Yeah, I got to get the phone lines hooked up so I could take calls. But that would have probably been like either some kind of bill collector or a spam person trying to sell me something. I get bill collectors. Somebody called me about my student loan. My student loan has been paid off for 30 years at least, probably 35 years. They called me the other day trying to kind of muscle me. Well, you got to make a payment on this. Like, dude, I don't have a fucking student loan. What the fuck are you talking about? But they're like intimidating and stuff. Like you almost get scared. Like you want to run to the bank.
Yeah.
How much can you pay today? I can pay as much as I want to fucking pay, but I don't want to pay nothing because I don't own nothing.
It said I can pay the whole thing today, which is $0.
Right. And I got. Oh, maybe that's who that is, isn't it? Some fucking bogus university in Phoenix offered me a $7,000 grant to go back to school. I was like, it's nice, but I'm not going.
Oh, was it Phoenix University?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an online school thing, and they're a legit thing, but I hear they're struggling. They've been sending that out to a lot of people.
Yeah, I do want to go back to school. I was really looking forward to this free college tuition for everybody because even though I'm not just graduating high school now, I would love to go back to school. First of all, the experience of being on the campus again and being around the young people and being able to smell the young girls in the room.
Okay, see,
where the fuck are you going? Biden University?
Yeah, that's why they sent you an online thing and not an invite to the campus. They're like, look,
Biden University. That's very good. But there's nothing wrong with being a dirty old man and smelling young girls. I'm not like I'm going to stick my nose in their hair like Biden.
If you
in the classroom. Hold on, there's nothing. I'm defending my position as a dirty old man here. If you're in a classroom and these girls have their all perfumed up, showered hair, and they come to class smelling like young girls do, that brings you back to life. Now you can kind of sit up straight in your chair and pay attention to what the teacher said. Yes, there are young, pretty girls left in the world, and I can smell them. My life matters until I die. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to do anything about it. You're not going to touch them. You're not going to go over let me smell your hair. But just sit in the room with them, it's invigorating. It's a reminder that, because I don't know if you know this, Stephen, but old people have this smell about them you don't want. And I know more often than not the smelliest guy in the room full of smelly old people. So it reminds me of what once was.
Yeah, but after 3 days of class, you're gonna walk in and you're gonna have a box in your hand, and they're all gonna be like, "You're gonna be like, my dick."
Baseball, and they're gonna. It reminds them of all that once was good and could be again.
I was at a comedy club, and I was talking to these two guys. One was a comedian, the other one was not, and they were a couple. They were together, and so we're just talking, shooting the shit. And when we went to leave, I gave one of them a hug, and he goes, "Oh, you smell good." And he said to his boyfriend, he goes, "Come here, you gotta smell him. Come here, you gotta smell him." And I was caught between. I'm glad I smell good, but now I got to be smelled by the other guy.
Right after Kathy, who bought me the sneakers and the mustache dye, I had this other girlfriend. She said, one night she gave me a hug and she said, "Oh, you smell so good. Why do you always smell so good?" I said, "Well, that's what I do." And her son was there, who turns out to be, he was a teenage boy at the time. He's a gay, middle-aged man now. I remember him saying, "Oh, that's so cool. That I smell good. That's my thing."
I don't understand. Yeah, when I get the compliment, "Oh, you smell good," I'm like, what the? Why wouldn't why? Well, what are you used to? Because
when I first met GD,
deodorant and cologne.
GD's first, when I was on so GD Funny, The interview was about when I smelled bad. I had a gig at West. I did a gig at West Hampton Beach, and it was really hot in there. And basically, I had another gig with duo with Mikey at the Garden Grill later on that night. But I didn't have time to go home and take a shower in between. And I knew I smelled because it was fucking hot as hell in the brewery, and they had the machines going, and I'm fucking sweating. And now I know I'm stinking. And there's this girl with her husband, and her husband is like jealous and shit. She's dancing around the band, and the husband getting mad. And I know I stink. She comes over, she puts her head on my shoulder, and I know she's fucking getting a whiff of stinky old man badness. And it's not affecting her. It's like she's flirting with me and all this stuff.
Whoa.
And then I see her husband or boyfriend or whatever, and he's waving the finger in front of her, and he's going like this, and they're fighting now. It looks like he's gonna hit her. And like I'm on alert now that this guy might fucking be a batterer, and I'm gonna have to go step into it. And I'm thinking, I know exactly what she's saying. She's saying, I wouldn't fuck that guy anyway. He stinks. But, so to answer your question,
had a deviant acceptance. No, there was I used to date this woman who had a teenage son, and she brings me this cologne, and she says she got me a gift, and it's a cologne, and she says, I got you some cologne. She says, this is the same cologne my son wears. It's really nice.
That's weird.
Yeah, thank you, Steven.
Fucking weird.
Yes.
Oh God, she wants you to smell like her son when she's fucking you. That's weird, man. That's
almost like
okay.
Donald Trump looking at the picture of Ivanka while he's fucking Stormy Daniels. According to Stormy, that was
sure. Yeah, kind of like that. That's that's super weird. I don't know. I always like being complimented on how good I smell. That always makes me feel good.
Well, I didn't wear that cologne. I actually donated it to Goodwill.
Yeah, I would have too. Yeah, but
do you stop listening when they say you smell good? That's the point where, because they said, I don't know if you know this, but there's a tagline to that for a perverted, sexy or deviant child rapist. All right, that's the show for you, folks.
Wait, I thought there was more. I thought there was something coming after that.
That's the tagline. You need more.
For once, we're waiting. For once, we're actually listening to you, waiting for you to say something.
I know.
That'll never happen again.
Well, that's enough of a tagline.
That's for damn sure.
I think that's enough of a tagline. I mean, you could go on all day with a tagline. Taglines are supposed to be short. I thought that was kind of a long tagline to begin with. Yeah, fuck you too. So they're coming out with a new narrative already. I'm monitoring Twitter as this goes on, and the MAGA people.
Steven, I'm changing my name to. I'm no longer going to be called a certified forensic humorist. I'm going to be an MCU humorist. Thank you very much. I like that now.
An MCU humorist.
Yeah.
MC humorist.
Yeah.
All right.
This. No.
How do you think MAGA is going to spin the Epstein stuff? According to what I'm seeing, how they already started to try to spin their way out of whatever they're in. What do you think? Got any thoughts on how?
I don't know, man. Because
if you were a MAGA retard, how would you do it?
Well, I mean, the fact that everyone was like, release the list. Everyone said there was a list. It was on Pam's desk. Trump said he saw the list. He knew of the list. Everyone knew of this list. And now there's no list. I don't know how you spin that outside of just pure simple cover.
I think they're missing a word. It's not that there is no list. There is no list anymore.
That's GG's right on top. What they're saying is Christopher Wray destroyed the list to protect Biden, because they're all Biden and
to protect Biden
and Clinton. No, all the Democrats. Yeah, he said Biden and his cronies, but it means basically right down every fucking Democrat who might be on that list. I'm sure there are some Democrats on that list. I'm sure Bill Clinton's got to be all over that list, right? But the fact that they're trying to paint Epstein as a guy who wouldn't blackmail people. What do you think those fucking pictures of Bill Clinton in drag are about? Right? I mean, we saw he had that hanging on his fucking wall in his fucking apartment in New York City. Bill Clinton in a blue dress, looking like
the Monica dress.
Yeah, but wearing it.
What I'm curious about is it because the general rule of thumb, once a person has been accused of at least one sexual assault, other people, if they've been assaulted by that person, get courage and they just come out of the woodwork. So when Clinton was president, we had Monica Lewinsky, and then there was the woman?
Jennifer Flowers. There were lots of them, but
I'm just wondering why none of the Epstein women.
Jones. Yeah,
right. But you'd have thought that would have been a time for anybody that was involved. If he had done anything on the Epstein Island, that some of those people would have spoken up, right? Unless I had the timetable wrong, because Clinton was 96. I don't know how long Epstein was doing what he did.
Yeah. Let me just share this in the Israel time. Now, it's in lots of different sources here, but for Stephen's edification, because it doesn't appear Stephen has seen this before.
What, The Godfather?
No, I've seen that.
I know. I'm just.
What the hell?
Did you see 1, 2, and 3?
That.
Is there a third
You're not
one?
seeing it. It's not showing it. Why is it not showing it?
Yeah, there is a third one.
There it is. Bill Clinton in the Monica dress.
I don't see anything.
All right. Remove it now. Damn it, StreamYard.
It literally just opened. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I can see it in the bottom of the screen now, not the top. I don't see it.
Really? You don't see it?
There it goes. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's gross.
And, okay, Stephen, put it away. I know you got this mental image that you can use for your spank bank.
So for Bill Clinton, though, the rape stuff goes back to him being 13 years old and an academic star at his high school, accused of rape.
Was he a Kennedy?
Yeah, he was Kennedy was his idol, and definitely that plays right into the idolization. But he got credibly accused of rape of one of the cheerleaders or a popular girl in high school. They dismissed that and buried all that stuff. He had, long before he ever got into politics, was known as this guy who was a raper. And then as the governor of Arkansas, he was just like openly fucking anybody who was under him.
That was the agreement. That was the agreement he had with the missus.
Yeah, Maxwell is the only person out there. This is from Big Beautiful Bill. Maxwell is the only person out there that can come close to dropping names now. The list is gone. She hasn't offed herself, so it's not going to come out.
It took me a while when I first saw Maxwell. I was thinking of somebody is watching me. Sometimes it feels like somebody. And that's what I was thinking. And then he goes her, and I went, oh, okay, not that Maxwell.
Yeah. I'm not sure that the list doesn't exist or what happened. The black book existed. Somebody had that. She was prosecuted. The prosecutor of that case had the black book.
Right.
Who was that? Who was the prosecutor?
And he probably had to have a copy of it so they can give it to.
That's these things. People make backups, just in case.
Yeah.
Nobody. We don't live in an innocent time where people think, all I needed is one copy. And
right. So and then it's a matter of getting access to those other copies, because if, let's say, the other copy belongs to the defense attorney, he's not going to say, I'm going to give it up. Not necessarily so.
The judge had to have a copy of it too. I mean,
the court has a copy. Yeah.
So that exists, and also
if it's the entire list, if it's the entire unredacted list, that would be something. I would think they'd have to have an unredacted list in court, otherwise you can't really use it as evidence, right?
Yeah, right. I would think, yeah. But what do I know? I'm not a lawyer. But now they released this tape of this jail cell. It's supposed to be a 24-hour surveillance,
right.
But there's a minute missing. It's like the Nixon tape. Well, Nixon was 18 minutes, but still, you can't say this proves nothing happened when there is 1 minute missing. That minute might, in most cases, probably even contains the part that we were really interested in. Why is that one? Why would you even bother releasing something that obviously has 1 minute missing to leave up the speculation that, that must be.
You did that in court. The court would say, well, this has been tampered with, this has been altered, we can't use this in evidence.
Right. Chain of custody matters, man. And where's this 1 minute, dude? So
matter of fact, that was when I was 12 years old. That was my nickname, 1 Minute Dude.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me.
It's to say, where's that 1 minute dude? I go, here I am. No.
Now, Adam Mockler was making the case that Epstein was alone, and he believed that he really committed suicide, and because, well, think about it. This is a billionaire who's used to the billionaire lifestyle. He's living and now all of a sudden he's locked in a cell and all alone. And I'm like, no, he was not all alone. He wasn't all alone at all. Did you see his cellmate?
No, I didn't see any of that stuff.
Oh, I will show you his cellmate and then tell you a little bit about him. This is absolutely true. It's been verified. This is not like just conspiracy theory talk. This is real. Nicholas Tartelloni is the guy's name. Oh, wait, it's playing here. We didn't want. I got to rewind this here. Yeah, can you see that? Do you see the picture of this guy who was his cellmate? Look at this fucking guy.
Look at the arms. And look
Big
what he's
boy.
about to do to that poor puppy. He's about to choke that dog out.
Big boy. Forget about Big Boy. Here's the story with that big boy, Nicholas Tartelloni, ex-cop who killed 3 guys with his bare hands in a fight. He got jumped by 4 guys. He killed 3 of them.
Well, that's why he got caught. He should have been wearing gloves. He left DNA evidence.
Right. Well, whatever. They put him in a cell with Epstein. And Epstein, this is the guy who's known. He's in there for killing guys with his bare hands. This is his cellmate. He wasn't all alone, and you don't see that guy in the frame at all. He's not. But it verified that this was his cellmate, Nicholas Stark, ex-cop who killed 3 guys with his bare hands. Got jumped by 4, was able to kill 3 of them, and just put the other guy in the hospital. A genuine badass motherfucker.
No, if there's a real badass, there'd have been 4 in the morgue. No. 3 in the morgue and 1 in the hospital, please.
Yeah.
What pussy move?
Guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Thank you for announcing.
Well, you don't have to. You just say you're going on vacation, you dope.
Yeah, just go on vacation.
There had to be multiple copies for discovery. Big Beautiful Bill seems to also not just be a teacher; he's a lawyer. No, he also had enough money to go through appeals. That's the thing. He wasn't convicted yet, and most of these guys, until the last, they're still thinking they're going to get off somehow. Like Trump would never kill himself. He always thinks he's got one card left to play, right? And I can't see that Epstein hadn't even gone to trial yet. He was just in a holding cell. He hadn't even really got.
He hadn't even started to bargain.
Yeah. So he had to, knowing that mindset, he had to think, I'm going to get out of this somehow. Especially, I got people to blackmail, and now one of the guys I have to blackmail happens to be the president of the United States. He could probably get me out of this, right? It's my best friend.
I'm sure he has a panic room. So that panic room can't be much bigger than a jail cell. It's not like he'd never been in a space that small before.
And how do you kill yourself? Don't they? And I know this because I used to deliver to that holding cell in Manhattan all the time. They take away just coming there.
Now here's the funny thing. If they think you're crazy when they'll take away your shoelaces. But if you're in the streets, you can have a gun. They don't. The right-wing people don't want to take away your gun, but they lock you up to take away your shoelaces.
Not only that, they don't even have to think you're crazy. When I used to deliver there, they'd strip you down. They'd fucking do like a complete body scan and all this stuff just for delivering like a microchip file to the warden or not the warden, or whatever captain who was in charge of that place. They're not going to leave like a guy of that level accused of those crimes with anything where he could possibly kill himself. Not even bed sheets, right? So. Do we even know how did they claim he killed himself? Like, what was his method for offering? Like hanging himself with bed sheets? What did he do? How did he fucking off?
I think he hung himself with his own intestines.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Yeah. I didn't care because I didn't think I was going to find out the truth anyway, so I didn't dig into it.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that there'd be like enough truth for me to figure it out.
I just, none of it fucking makes sense. And so I don't think he killed himself. I hate to be in the same boat as a conspiracy theorist who say, "Well, he had to kill himself." But Bill Barr was in charge.
Is that the
of
comedian?
that. No, that's Bill Burr. Bill Burr. Bill Barr. You know, big pudgy Barr.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah,
yeah. Everybody dies. That guy. He was in charge of. I mean, that was under his jurisdiction, and that was Trump's. And I don't know if you know this about Bill Barr, but before even Trump came out in the picture, his nickname around Washington D.C. was General Cover Up for his cover up of the Iran-Contra stuff. So this was a guy who was well schooled in hiding incriminating evidence, covering up dirty laundry, all that kind of stuff. He was the one in charge of that. So I don't think he killed himself, and I don't think it had anything to do with Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton. There's another one of the Clinton body count.
Yeah, the Clintons wouldn't have done it because they were still being what was the other person that they were supposed to have killed that was an aide or something?
Seth Rich.
I can't remember.
Seth Rich. The one that was her partner in the Rose Law Firm.
Right. She was supposed to have.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, he died by the cannon in the Washington Square Park there. Basically, supposedly shot himself in a way that it would be really difficult to shoot yourself. I think with a shotgun or something, shot himself behind the ear with a shotgun. How do you do that? How do you even? I don't know. I forget exactly what Vince Foster is who I'm talking about.
Yes.
How did he kill himself? Yeah, well, that's the same. Enough money to go to appeals and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Don't they tie up your? Yeah, I guess. I don't know how that shit works, but I thought they tie up money and stuff when you're. But yeah, of course you could use it for appeals and stuff. Yeah, he was a long way from this final play of the thing, and it just doesn't seem to me like a guy who had been through all that. He had already been caught and convicted in Florida, and they gave him like home arrest with a couple of hours he could leave home every Juan Acosta or Jose Acosta or something like that. The guy who Trump appointed.
I think you're thinking of Mikasa Sukasa.
Mikasa Ukasa, get out of the casa and go rape some little girls, Casa.
Or Casablanca. Mikasa Sukasa Blanca.
Yeah. So that was his experience of getting caught, convicted, and still getting like a really cushy jail from home position, which is so I can't imagine a guy like that being so desperate that he'd want to kill himself. I just can't imagine. But my lack of ability to imagine it is not proof of anything in any way. But it just doesn't pass the sniff test, does it?
No.
Chat room.
But then again, I wasn't trying to sniff it.
Yeah. So whatever. What's going on, comedy world? Anything going on in the comedy world that is interesting? Nothing, right?
No, I got a show on July 19th. We're shooting it at the Comedy Bunker, and
this is the plausible thing. Is that what you're telling?
Right. We're shooting it. We're recording it you're shooting it, streaming it from the Comedy Bunker, streaming it onto plausible.com.
The Comedy Bunker is your basement? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. The Soji D Funny Comedy Bunker.
So now, what if strangers wanted to come to your house and attend it live?
No, what it is. It's there are some people locally who've been like fans of mine for a while, and this is like my way of rewarding them. You know, we get to hang out.
I'm sorry, you said it's punish them like you said rewarding. I don't.
Yeah, well, that's part of the thing. One of my opening lines is, "What did you do wrong?" Didn't you have other plans? But basically,
I would challenge you to invite my good friend, my best friend, Blind Mike.
He won't even come on to Don't Way Past Funny. He said he would. He said he would come on in the fall, but I don't think he's going to want to do it now because
he did invite you, sort of invite you the other day on to his show.
They have my information. If they really want to invite me, they can. Don't do it through.
I consider having him on my show.
They called me. They called me a liar. Okay, I don't lie. That's something I do not like. I do not take that lightly. Call me unfunny. I don't care. Okay, but to call me a liar, that rubs against.
I think he called you two-faced, not a liar.
No, they called me a liar too.
They. See, you can't attribute.
Well, when I said that, I mean his chat people called me a liar, and they got their information from what's his face. They're taking their lead from Mike.
I just wow! I just uncovered a trove of messages on Twitter. The additional messages that this is like hidden in a tab behind stuff.
A lot of times the messages are from like third party, like web porn sites and stuff like that. I get those, it's like, and they don't have actual permission to actually contact you directly, but they try to send you a message.
Right.
So it goes to another folder, and you get to look through it and see if you want to have contact with them.
Well,
most of them are porn stuff.
Apparently, this one is trying to get around that what you just talked, because right in the headline it says, "No porn, no sales, no gift card."
Yeah.
Yeah, but wow, there's a whole lot of. No, I don't think they're all.
Yeah, because you don't go through and delete them on a regular basis. Now I'll go through because sometimes somebody new is trying to reach out to me, and now I'll go like, okay, yeah, I will contact. So you're safe and we can talk.
I never even knew they were there, so there's actually hundreds of them here. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Some of them seem like legit. Like one of them is asking about painting lessons, and like, wow.
Yeah. That's why you have to go through. That's why you have to go through them and decide who do you want to talk to, who do you not want to talk to. I didn't know that existed either. I honestly didn't know it existed either. All of a sudden, I noticed something that said message request. I'm like, message request, and I go over there. Not only that, there's a message request inside the message request. It's like a super top secret thing. It's like I get there, and then there's another message request folder. And
I've been getting that a lot on Facebook too, like a lot of like weird, like hidden chat shit and people adding me to fucking groups. I hate group chats. Don't add me to fucking group chats. Just don't. But this is a weird one. It says, "Hi, I'm back, Matt. Where did you vanish?" I didn't vanish, and that was May 23rd of this year. Do you hate me or something? I don't even know who you are.
That's probably some young lady who wants you to join her OnlyFans.
Yeah. Did OnlyFans put Patreon out of business or something? I mean,
I have no idea. I don't pay attention enough to either one to know. Ron would be the one. You have to wait till Friday to ask Ron if he shows up.
Is Ron going to be here Friday?
If he shows up, I don't know. Ron has gotten so big for his pants. We don't talk anymore. He's just he's showtiming me, or he's big timing me. No, I got a comedy contest. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm working all the fucking time. It's like, eat me.
You know who Charlie Kirk is?
I know a guy named Charles Kirkland.
No, Charlie Kirk is the head of Turning Point USA, which is a conservative. Yeah, he's what's the guy who's the Muslim guy who's running for mayor? Jordan or something. Jordan something.
Yeah.
Molagawali. Please stand by why I butchered his name. He was seen eating a burrito with his hands. Now I think that's the way you eat a burrito. I don't know. I'm not a burrito eater.
That's how I eat them.
Charlie Kirk said, "I hope he's not like most people who scratch their anus all night." What? Wait, what? Hold on. You say most people scratch their anus all night and don't wash their hands?
I think he was trying to do the Muslim trope where they say they use one hand to, they shake with, like they shake left-handed because they use their right hand for that, or they won't touch your left hand because that's the hand you use to clean your ass. I'm not. It's so old. It's so stereotypical. I don't even pay it.
He deleted it pretty quickly. I mean, somebody must have said to him, "What's up with you?" And maybe you should see a doctor, Charlie. This whole itchy anus thing. Louis C.K. The Louis C.K. and Dane Cook controversy where Dane Cook stole the itchy asshole joke from Louis C.K. And they go over a point. Well, it's a funny joke about itchy asshole. Speaking of itchy assholes, but to just come out on a public platform and kind of let the world know that you spend most of your night scratching your anus is a very weird. I don't even know.
Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, that's exactly what I tried to say, but
Yeah.
I will never be able to say that. Why is that hard for me to say? I don't know.
I think it's probably because you speak American.
Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by.
Yeah, we were discussing Charlie Kirk, who tweeted out about Zoran Wamagului that he eats a burrito after spending, like most people, scratching their anus all night in bed. Do you,
I don't scratch my anus in bed like that. I don't.
Where do you scratch your anus? On a bark?
I generally. I don't really have an itchy ass, so I mean, I guess if you were gonna say I did it anywhere, it'd be when I shower.
All right.
I have an itchy tree out back, so I do scratch the tree with my ass just so the tree feels better.
No, but to me, that seems like an indication that you might need to go see a proctologist or a doctor. Maybe get a colonoscopy.
Or maybe
something's hemorrhoid cream.
A wet wipe once in a while, or maybe they need a bidet. If they're itchy that much, that means maybe they have dingleberries, growing in the bush. I don't know.
Are you a bidet guy, or by night?
No, a matter of fact,
bidet by night.
My wife and I were hanging out with two other couples, and the other two couples are both like bidet. They're swearing about bidets. They're like bidet, 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 bidet. And then Carol goes, I should get a bidet also. I think I want a bidet. And I'm like, you want me to install a bidet? She goes, yeah, sure. And so I get home and I start looking up bidets. She says, what are you doing? So I'm looking up bidets. She goes, I don't want a bidet. I said, you said that the other night. She goes, I don't want a bidet. I don't want water in my ass. I said, okay. But she was saying it because of, around her friends. The thing is, Carol tries to be nice to people sometimes. So she just tries not to be offensive. And also sometimes when she's had a few drinks, which she also had, she is very agreeable to a lot of stuff. As a matter of fact, when she's had a few drinks, let's just say one drink too many, she'll say something like, honey, if you're on the road and you get lonely, I don't understand if you sleep with another woman. And then I'll go like, no. Because I know when she sobers up, if she remembers that conversation, she'll be like, you cheat on me, I'll cut your dick off. So I know when she said a few drinks, if she's being too agreeable, I know not to respond to it at all.
Have you ever
remember my response?
We're coming back to where the people probably don't even remember the question. Are you a bidet guy? Have you ever used a bidet?
No, I have. I have a long shower hose that if I feel so inclined, I can. Yeah.
I don't know. I like the dude wipes. I don't like the bidets, but I
like to kill the environment. That's what you like, you little
the environment. I have a clean, smelling good asshole. That's all that matters.
I don't know.
Good asshole too, and I can do it without destroying the environment.
How am I destroying the environment?
What you do is you get yourself a dog. They don't. Okay, when they.
Whoa.
The water. Okay, all that sewage stuff has to be cleaned and removed.
We're breaking new ground here, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on.
All those wet wipes, they clog up the machinery.
I don't flush the wipes like a fucking animal.
Well, there's only one way to flush it. It's not like you flush it like an animal. You flush it like you flush.
I don't flush it at all.
You throw them in the trash.
Yeah, unless I'm in a really gross public bathroom, then I'll flush them.
I'm not coming to your house, man. You got a bucket full of shitty fucking shit.
No.
You got a bucket full of shitty shit in your shitty shithole.
No.
I wasn't going to your house anyway. On the Protestant.
No. According to that, okay, they break down, but not before they get to that claw shit. It takes too long for them to break down.
I think a 1 billion year cycle or something for the radioactive breakdown. Whatever.
Whatever. My asshole is clean and it smells good. I don't give a shit what it is.
On the podcast for Andy Andrus, we were giving away a bidet, and we couldn't get people to even bid on it. We were not giving away. We were trying to get donations, and the highest bidder on whatever would win the bidet. Nobody wanted it. Brett Erickson was on there making the case that bidet is the most human form of cleaning your asshole. I just something about water squirting on my asshole that makes me feel like I
like using eucalyptus leaves. Okay, eucalyptus leaves, they're natural, they smell nice, and you have a nice eucalyptus.
So here's the thing:
smelling butt.
So like when you use a bidet, how do you dry your ass?
You shake it like this.
So
you pat the cheeks like this.
Well, hold on. The one we were giving away has hot air coming after the water comes out.
Oh my god, that's too much fucking work, man. I don't want to sit there and have to wash my ass and air dry it.
Yeah, I don't want to feel that. Like, first of all, for me, I would need fire hose power to make sure it was clean enough, right? I'd need like the guys holding the fucking thing. Like, whoa!
My thing is, how do you aim it? You know, I say yes. Because not assholes wind up in the.
You got to move. That's it. You got to move the target, not the gun.
But you're grossed out about like having dude wipes in the trash can, but you're okay with walking into a room where there's a butthole tub.
I'm not okay with anything.
I didn't say I was okay with that.
Yeah, we're not. Nobody's claiming to be okay with anything here.
Don't shame me in my dude wipes, you asshole.
Right? Yes, because that has been proven by all of the places where they go to.
Yeah, well, deodorant causes cancer too, but I'm not going to go in a room with somebody without wearing it.
Well, Big Beautiful Bill is taking a page from Doug Stanhope. I'm not saying he's like stealing from him like Steven does with Landau, but this was the case that on the Potathon, Stanhope was in making about smearing and like, first of all, it's not on your hand. Because Brett Erickson was saying, "Oh, if you got shit on your forehead, you're going to wipe it off with." What? No, but it's not on your forehead. You're not using your forehead. But
it's not a legit case, Bill, because here's the thing. When I sit down and shit, I spread my ass cheeks. There's minimum contact. I'm not spreading shit all over my ass like peanut butter and then being, man, I hope this toilet paper gets it off. No, it's a little spot to clean up.
Plus, if there were peanut butter on there, you'd get squirrels coming to eat out of your ass. I know this because it happened to me once.
Nobody thought about the squirrel option.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought about it. I've seen what squirrels can do. I don't want them. My fourth grade teacher. I didn't know this about me, but I had a fourth grade teacher, and she had a finger that was bent and crooked like this. And whenever she would point like this, but it would always go that way. And so that's how, like, she would say, I want you to go down and I want you to get the hall pass and go do such and such. And then
somebody on the other side of the room would go.
And two kids would go because they're, and then she was pointing to me. It's like, so.
I had a teacher that couldn't open his hands really well. And he would point kind of like how Ghost Rider did. He would go like this when he would point.
Oh,
kind of like Ghost Rider. But it was, it was creepy. I never liked it. Yeah, like, you guys over there, go. It's just like,
my fourth grade teacher also was the teacher for Spiro T. Agnew. She had him as a student as well. She'd been around for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Spiro T. Agnew was like 1,000 when you were 9 years old. I know this because I was 9 years old when you were 9 years old, and I met him.
Yeah, I was 8 when I was in the fourth grade.
Yeah,
and spiritual act, but she had taught both of us. That's how old she was.
My God, Methuselah's wife.
She said to me, you should be an attorney because you remind me so much of a student I had, Spiro Agnew. And I thought because he was an attorney that, and she was saying that he was bright and everything. This was before we found out what Spiro T. Agnew actually became. This is back when in Maryland, he was still like the governor or something, a lieutenant governor or whatever it was. This is before we knew how crooked he was.
Yeah.
And
Agnew would have finished high school in 1936. This was like 1968 that DD's referencing, which is, it's 32 years later. That's possible, absolutely possible that a woman might have been teaching from 1936, or even 1933 until 1968, 1969, whatever. That's definitely plausible. Not to not to bang on Leanna Linsky or Leanna.
She was very old. She was old.
Yeah.
Mrs. Silver.
Yeah, no, it's definitely doable. That's like a 40-year teachers teach for 40 years. Whatever.
Some longer than that.
Yeah.
So she told me I reminded her of him, and so I thought that was such a good thing. And once he became the crook that he did, I was kind of devastated.
Now he resigned, but did he go to jail for tax evasion?
No, he never went to jail. He bargained. He resigned his position and agreed to never run for public office again.
And as if that weren't like Nixon felt like he had to, you tried to upstage me. We can't have a vice president. I think that was the first vice president to ever resign. I could be wrong about that. Big Beautiful Bill can correct me on that if he knows. But Nixon said, "Fuck that, man! I can't let this guy upstage me. I got to do something worse." And what a fuck. Now Nelson Rockefeller was Agnew's replacement, right? And he died in bed with a young girl. Nelson Rockefeller was like Agnew's age, like he was 60s, 70s, whatever, old dude, governor of New York, not a good guy. He created the worst drug laws, the most draconian drug laws ever in our nation. Like people were getting 20 years for marijuana possession and stuff. But he was named vice president or appointed vice president, or was that under Ford? Yeah, no, I think I'm confused now. Yeah, so Ford became the vice president under Nixon, and then when Ford became president, Nelson Rockefeller became vice president, right? Am I right? Do I have that correct?
Rockefeller, he became vice president after Ford, I believe.
But then who after Rockefeller? Because Rockefeller was vice president and died in bed with this young girl. Who became the vice president next? I don't know. Big Beautiful Bill, help me out here. I'm struggling with history.
He needs an instructor.
I think Rockefeller may have died after Ford lost the election.
No. Oh, maybe. Yes, possible. Yes, because he was still in office, right? A.St. Calhoun resigned in 1832. I was only like a kid then, so I was young in 1832. I'm going to have to look this up now because I'm getting no help here, and I can't not know things. Trying to mix.
Whatever you do, don't mix your politics and your drinks because it'll taste nasty. It has a weird aftertaste.
Listen, where you are, I hear you can just reach out the window and get a drink. That's a terrible fucking thing to say, you heathen. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to myself for that.
There's a reason why the nursery rhyme says the water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. You can't drink all the water that's out there. Some of it's not clean.
Yeah, it's true. RFK's been in some of it.
Now, what did I just help Matt remember his jokes, please? Okay.
Who's BG?
I don't know. I'm not joke. I did not joke.
You don't know who the Bee Gees are?
I know who the Bee Gees are. Who's this BG?
Well, this is BG 254. He's obviously one of the
254th of them. Okay.
Yeah. They're like the Temptations. There's like no end.
Or like Blink 182.
It has like hundreds and hundreds of members.
Yeah, you got to blink 100 and
Mitch Hedberg.
Well, if you blink that often, you might as well sleep.
Mitch Hedberg, you like him, you love him, you don't know him.
I know Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg was great.
I like him a lot.
I recently heard another joke of his. He was like, I'm going to get a map of the world and I'm going to travel all over and put little red pins in it. But first, I'm going to travel to the top corner so it doesn't fall.
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty good.
I have a map of the United States. It's actual size.
Why doesn't somebody say GMAT?
That's Stephen Wright. I'm sorry.
Why doesn't somebody say GMAT? What prompted you to ask us about Mitch Hedberg after
GMAT? What made you ask us about Mitch Hedberg?
GMAT, who gives a fuck about what you're talking about?
I will answer that in one question and one word. Or is it two words? Nobody. Is that no, it's one word.
One word. That's one word.
It all depends on where you put the little
space.
The space.
Because
it
could be
nobody.
Nobody. That comes from Training Day. Remember in Training Day when Ethan Hawke was left in that room in the barrio, and that guy says, "Come on, man, I ain't gonna shoot nobody."
Yeah.
Body. That's different. Yeah.
So Doug Stanhope, I don't know if he's held on to this fucking footage for all this time, or he was just keeping it close to the vest. He has released 27 minutes of a pilot that looks like it was shot literally on like a home VHS camera or something of a Mitch Hedberg on tour. 27-minute pilot for a Mitch Hedberg show they were pitching. Stanhope has a little part in it, but all the other comics now, Hedberg, it's him on the road with comics that he was taking on tour. I never heard of any of these except Lynn Showcroft, who was Hedberg's wife. But one of this guy, they called himself the Possum. I would love to get, if this guy's still alive, I would love to get him on the program. He was he's doing the comedy stuff. His comedy was, I'm the possum, like making faces, like and screaming shit, but calling himself the Possum Man. And like, this is not telling any fucking jokes. And he was a total, just a weird fucking act. Like, it made Andy Kaufman look like a fucking just regular, ordinary comedy store act or something.
So what makes you like him more than Goat Boy?
Goat Boy?
Yeah, because Goat Boy just does faces and stupid.
I fucking hate Goat Boy. I don't like this guy. I don't like it. No, I'm not saying I like this guy. I would love to get him on to ridicule him and just kind of say, like, what the fuck were you even doing? Because even in the footage for this pilot, Hedberg, it's like, dude, you got to tell some jokes or something. Like, this is like backstage is going, oh my god! But you brought him with you. That was the weird thing about Hedberg. Like, you chose to bring this guy. Nobody forced you to do it. And then Stanhope does like an interview with him. If I do a reaction thing, this is going to be my first thing on the reaction channel, reacting to this fucking thing. But it wasn't 2001. I think it was taped. I thought Hedberg had been gone longer than that. But
no, I'm pretty sure he died a little after that because he had a couple cameo.
He had to die after the recording. That much we know.
Well, he had a couple cameo appearances in that 70s show.
How can you prove that he died after the recording?
It would be more like string theory. I can't disprove it.
He died in 2005.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I knew he was on that 70s show and some other stuff. He was Time Magazine, or one of those magazines, put him up as a new Seinfeld, right? And I think that's why they were shooting a pilot. They were thinking he was gonna have but he's not that kind of guy. He was never that kind of guy.
Shy. He was an introvert. He didn't like to.
Hollywood will get their hooks into you, and they will prostitute you in such a way that you become that guy.
Yeah. Well, one of the interesting things about it, I should probably save this.
Fucking ruin your material too.
I should probably save this for my reaction piece. But one of the interesting things is he used to wear dark glasses all the time and keep his eyes closed because he had so much stage fright and was so insecure. He would keep his eyes pretty much closed during the whole thing. And with this thing, he's got very clear glasses. You can see through, and he's keeping his eyes open, and he's almost seems, dare I say, completely sober throughout this whole thing, which puts a whole new kind of outlook on who Mitch Hedberg was, because I don't think anybody ever saw him be sober. Anybody in the public ever saw him sober before.
Was it named Greg Giraldo? Greg Giraldo, wasn't he like a contemporary of his?
Yeah, Greg
Giraldo had a drinking problem. Because I think if I, now again, this is because I don't really give enough of a fuck to pay attention and to make sure I got this right. But I thought that once he died, I think it was like alcohol related or something, or drug related. And some of his contemporaries were like really thrown off by it because they thought it was like they really liked him. You know, he was really likable.
Yeah.
And so some of them cleaned up their acts briefly. If I remember correctly, again.
Artie Lang had a great story, but Greg Giraldo and Artie Lang go to the William Shatner roast. They're online at the airport, and they see Hedberg. And Hedberg, by this time, had given himself gangrene by shooting shooting needles into his fucking dirty leg over and over again, dirty needles, and giving himself gangrene. And he was fucking freaking out. But Artie Lang was giving all these fucking and Artie was freaking out too. This was the thing, and Geraldo gave Artie a bunch of downers to calm down and get him through the flight and all this stuff. And they get to the thing, and Artie Lang is up there, and he goes, he's up there, and he says, "Greg Giraldo's here now that you are alcoholic, drug addict, fuck." Like, wait a minute. I can't give you my drugs so you can calm down and be able to do this thing. And you're up at the roast. The first thing you do is call me out on fucking the stuff I did to help you. But yeah, I mean, all those guys, a lot of drugs involved in comedy. You know,
yeah.
I don't see how.
I
don't see how you could do it.
Honestly, I when I first started doing comedy, a lot of the comedians after mics and shows and stuff, they want to get high, and I'm like, I got a wife to go home to. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go home high. I'll go home.
Weed is super prevalent, but coke is still pretty heavy out there too.
That's weird. Now, because coke does not make you funny. It makes you talk too fast. It makes you kind of rush everything, right? You lose all your sense of timing and all that. I don't see how coke.
I performed one time with coke, and I will never do it again. My brain was going so much faster than my mouth. I was stumbling over words and like stuttering. And it was the worst experience. Never again.
I haven't used coke since they switched from sugar to high fructose corn syrup because that gives me the runs.
I'm pretty sure the coke I used was cut with laxative, but anyway, it was.
It gives me the runs too. That's why I don't do coke. It's yeah. Now, Mr. Ahawk 91. Unfortunately, our structural engineer who was supposed to be here for the second hour did not show up. Otherwise, we'd have one for you. But tune in tomorrow. We may have a structural engineer.
The question on the table is: any ideas how to find a structural idea for a housing project? No, that's my answer.
We have one scheduled for the show. Maybe they'll be here tomorrow.
What do you mean? What makes you think he was no? He was
I thought we had a structural engineer scheduled in the second hour today.
We did.
Wasn't it?
I didn't know about this. Why
pay better attention to the people that you let book on the show?
I only had Christian Ray Flores, who was a coach. I hate fucking coaches. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
I used to love RC Cola. I loved RC Cola.
Now, what does a structural engineer actually do? He engineers a structure.
No.
Is that different than an architect or a carpenter? What is a structural?
I think an architect just draws up the designs, and a structural engineer makes sure that design will stand.
Yeah, structural engineer is somebody who goes. It looks like they go over the architect's plans to ensure safety and.
Right, they make sure that what you're drawing is actually going to work.
No, it's not. It's not going to work.
Now, I thought load management was the guy who worked in the restroom.
Architects have well, I've had some experience with architects too, because believe me, I'm not really in depth.
Okay, so
I managed a podcast for an architectural firm.
All right, so I looked it up, and it says architects focus on the overall design, aesthetics, and functionality of a building, while structural engineers address the building's safety, stability, and structural integrity.
Integrity. All right.
Yeah, that's exactly. The load management is the guy who directs the money shot. Thank you, Bill.
Yes, that's 100% accurate. He works right below the fluffer. So
yes, well, actually not below, but I think they work hand in hand.
They do work hand in hand.
Yeah, but the architects I work, I should say I work for. I manage their podcast. The architectural engineering firm had a podcast.
Okay.
And
Matt, okay, I understand that that the average person out there cannot name an architect outside of George Costanza.
That's true. I can't remember Frank's last name, but it will probably come to me. I still have control of his Gmail account. I could probably go in and find it out. But he's a guy who actually was a builder himself. Like, he's a carpenter, builder, architect, and all. He's involved in every aspect of the process, from conception, drawing, building, all, and seeing the plans out. It's not just like a Costanza guy who, I got an idea, yeah. And there's actual a lot of hands-on work that they do, and they go and inspect stuff.
Mr. BG is letting me know that he's not average, because I said the average person could not name a architect outside of George Costanza.
How do you know that James Harrell is an architect? They might be just putting that in there as somebody.
No, because I know the name James Harrell.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What did he design? The Puck building?
I know
the Puck?
enough that I can pronounce it when I see it.
Did he design the Puck?
Yeah. I think it's called Nip and Puck.
Where is it? Oh, yeah.
A public puck.
Get the puck out of here.
A public puck. Yeah.
DD on point as usual. What do you mean?
Rafael Martos is the only architect that I know, and he was a customer of mine at Verizon.
You Google. That's why it took you so long to be looking it up.
I had to look up his name. He was a customer of mine.
That's what I'm saying. You had to look it up. You didn't know
because it was fucking long. But he was a customer of mine at Sprint for a while. He moved back to Spain, but he was an architect that I knew.
I mean, I knew architects back when I wanted to be one. But I didn't want to be an architect. I designed my own house. I really designed for my own.
Nobody.
But
nobody. There's one obvious one that nobody had mentioned. Now I don't know. He's definitely not still alive. But people in the chat room and everybody, there's one architect who stands above all architects in the name of architecturally named architects who are named
God.
No, there was one guy. My wife and I just watched a movie about him that Adrian Brody portrayed him. And I can't remember.
You're not Simon and Garfunkel fans, are you? Because if you were Simon and Garfunkel fans, you'd know this.
Mrs. Robinson.
Close.
Julio.
Closer.
He built things down by the schoolyard, didn't he?
Frank Lloyd Wright. I remember Frank Lloyd Wright. Architects may come in, architects may go in, never change your point of view. You don't know that Simon and Garfunkel song, Frank Lloyd Wright.
I only had 2 Simon and Garfunkel albums, and I inherited that. Well, I take that back. I didn't have albums. I had 2 8-tracks, and I inherited them from my stepfather.
Something about bass guitars. Yeah, I also love looking at bass guitars gathering dust slightly.
Mine's not gathering dust. I play it every day. I've only owned it for
yeah. BG, his bass is not gathering dust. His fingers are.
No, I practice every day. I'm learning from zero.
Okay. All right, fine.
Get yourself all hot and wet on this. You see this dust over here. There's dust here. There's dust here. This is the dustiest dust bowl of a dusty bass you're ever going to see in the neighborhood of dusty bass playing.
Well, welcome to Coffee with the Dog Bass Camp.
This is what Spinal Tap would call Big Bottom.
Welcome to Coffee with the Dog. Boom, 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 boom.
So yeah, that bass, the intonation needs work. I gotta. Basses. I go through more basses than Steven goes through dude wipes, which is a lot, by the way. I don't know if you know this.
No, I only poop every other day, man.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of dude wipes, though. I mean, imagine if those dude wipes were all basses, how much you'd be in. Right?
Man, when I went to Sweetwater, I went in there and I was like, well, this is exactly where I'll come if I ever want to go broke, because fuck, dude, I went in there and I wanted to leave with all
this
of them.
Is why perfect argument to GD. Oh, you go to the store. If you go to the store, you fucking come back a fucking pauper.
Dude,
and an addict. So you're a fucking. Now I gotta go back. I gotta get that fucking little gizmo that was on the shelf.
Sweetwater has so obviously it's a big music store, right? But inside they have a little used music shop where you can go in and buy, used equipment.
They changed the name to Heroin.
Oh my God, dude, you're telling me he was like, here, try this out, see if this fits you better. And I tried it in the chair and it fit well. It was an Ibanez, it was beautiful. And he goes, this one right now, you can walk out here with this for $250. I'm like, oh no, just stop. I'm just looking right now. And he's like, well, we also finance. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
There were so nice. There was so many, man. And they had the one that I couldn't afford it regardless of how much I had, but they had a Paul Gray edition, a Paul Gray Slipknot edition bass there. That was just beautiful, man.
Now, I think I mentioned before on it that I have an affinity for cheap guitars. I don't think you need.
I thought you had an affinity for cheap women.
Yeah, well, that too. When you say cheap, you mean cheap in a way that they won't spend money on me? No, I already told you.
I mean cheap.
Kathy Mareka bought me a mustache dye and sneakers.
No, I mean cheap as in the fact that they don't last long. They break, like dollar store cheap.
All right, that makes sense.
One use, you get one use out of them. That kind of cheap.
I have a lap steel over here too. Another fucking instrument from hell, lap steel, and
I have a lap dance over there, but I guess it's not the same thing.
Did you ever try to play a pedal steel?
Once.
My
God, I had one.
Whoever fucking invented that instrument, and I think we could look up who invented it. It was invented in Hawaii, by the way. But they kill them. They're long dead.
I had a drummer that used to bring home instruments from school because he was a student as well, and he used to bring home like an instrument a week, for to learn to play with. I mean, I love the vibe. She'd bring like maybe a vibraphone one week, the steel pedal another, all kinds of shit. The only thing he didn't bring that I wanted him to bring was I wanted him to bring home a harp. I wanted to try to play a harp. I did play a harp later on.
I have a harp story, which is not really an interesting story, so I won't tell it. But I have Martin Sweetwater Select and an old Hummingbird. Now I know what an old Hummingbird is, but Martin is a maker of a guitar. Did Martin partner with Sweetwater to have a special Sweetwater? What is that? A Martin Sweetwater Select? What the fuck is that?
Now, BG, I think Matt has a mandolin, or did you have a ukulele? Which did you have?
I have a mandolin and a ukulele and a pedal steel and a lap steel. I've got fucking more instruments than I know what the fuck. I gotta start fucking selling off some of this shit. I got too much. I have an electronic drum set right now.
Really?
It is a basically functioning as a coat hanger and shirt hanger.
Is it portable? I mean, how easy is it to store? Because I want an electronic drum set, but I want one that's portable.
It's very portable. The stand folds up. It basically I used to travel with it in the back seat of my car
because I'm really short on space. That's why I don't. I mean, I want a real drum set, but I'm not getting a real drum set until I have my garage built. Because when I get my garage built, I'm gonna have a second story into my garage, and that's gonna be a music room.
I have two real drum sets downstairs. One of them is a Gretsch baby kit. It's fucking great, man. It's like a 16-inch bass drum, which is a small bass drum. Or it's just a tiny little, but it just plays so fucking good and it sounds good. It's an old Gretsch wooden kit. I got it at a garage sale for I think $50. It's like one of my favorite kits to play. I just have too much.
I had a drum set, and the thing is, I had a 1-bedroom apartment, and so in my dining room, I didn't have any tables. My dining room was my music room. My living room, I had a coffee table that the top would lift like this, so I could eat off of it. And then
you're making Steven go to sleep. Look at him.
Yeah, that's
does the story get better? Fuck.
But once I used to be like, I was a very prolific writer, and once I got the drum set, I got writer's block. But I didn't know that's what caused it. It took up so much space. It took up, it affected the way I thought. And once I got rid of the drum set, I got rid of my writer's block.
Welcome to Escapes for Why I Excuses for Why I Suck with GD in the morning.
That was an explanation, not an excuse.
Don't you listen to the
Reverend's sermons?
I did. I actually have it on tape. I listened to it to put me to sleep at night. And this is why I don't sleep at night. I did not sleep last night because I was very depressed and angry about this fucking review. That I don't know. It wouldn't bother me like the first one where I knew they were right. It doesn't bother me. I can admit my faults and say, yes, they're right. I blew it. I'm sorry. But when these people told me, we loved you, we'd love to have you back again. Here's a nice big tip. We all love you. We'll follow you on social media. And then go on the review site and say, he sucked. I hated that guy. He's
been undergoing a bad review for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
2 fucking years of a continuous bad review. You can't let it get to you, man.
Yeah.
At least you were there for them to review.
Right.
I am without fault.
Right. You know the quality of your work. You know what went right, what went wrong. You were there. Don't let you know anything that you can learn from. Take from it and learn and move
You're
on.
right. Well, this is the thing. I don't know. I'm struggling with booking myself on this stuff, like everything. This is the one thing I stay with this company for, is because they throw in a steady amount of business. They're a booking agency for me, and I don't really want to cut ties with them. But this idea of just coming back at me, I told them, first of all, let's be clear here. On the very first interview with them last year sometime, I told them I'm fucking hard of hearing because I fucking played in rock bands for 40 years. My ears are shot. And so they said to me, the girl who was interviewing me, you just announced that if they want to get your attention, they speak loud and say your name loud and you'll be fine. I do that. And they say, well, the people complain that you didn't hear them well. I started out by saying I am hard of hearing.
Oh, Matt, I got it. I know what we're going to do. We're going to get you a T-shirt, and on the back it's going to say, "If you can read this, I can't hear you." Okay.
Right.
So what's on you when you got your back painting? They see the back of your shirt, and it's going to say, "If you can read this, I can't hear you." We're going to make a bunch of those shirts for you.
My wife says it's time for you to get a hearing aid. It's like, no,
I don't need a hearing aid. Why would you? First of all, why would your wife even care if I have a hearing aid? That's not
well, my wife hates me.
So she thinks I should get a hearing aid because she hates you.
Because every time she talks,
weird.
She gets mad at me. Like the other day, she was talking about shrimp, and some people like coconut covering on them, and I thought she said chocolate. I was like, chocolate on shrimp? She said, this is why we can't talk, because you don't fucking hear anything, and then it makes her angry. So she wants me to get a hearing aid, but the problem is, much like Steven and his fucking full moon of a head, I'm a bald person, and hearing aids become, oh, look at the gimp with the fucking hearing aid. I'd rather be the deaf guy that they pick on. I'm legally deaf.
That's a mental fuck, man. That's like me being embarrassed because I have the crutches or wheelchair, man. You got to do what you got to do to give yourself a better quality of life.
Be embarrassed by the wheelchairs or crutches.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck what people think. As long as you're comfortable and you're living a life that you're happy with, and
I am living. That's the point. I am living a life. There are times when I would like to hear better, but most of the time I don't really want to fucking hear people. Seriously, I mean, there's so much fucking shit that this tunes out automatically for me. It's almost like being bald is a blessing because now I don't have to wash my hair, dry my hair. It's like, I'm out of the shower faster than anybody. So fucking dry off and there you're ready to go. It's a blessing in more ways than it is a curse, this hearing thing, because if I do hear you and I don't like it, I could just claim I didn't hear it. And people will just accept that I didn't hear it. And it's a built-in excuse. And there is a lot of shit I really don't want to hear. There's a lot of shit I really don't want to hear. So,
now I have a friend.
What does that say?
I had a friend of mine who was deaf in one ear. And so whenever he was with his wife, he would put her on the side of the ear, on the side that he couldn't hear her on purpose.
See? This guy gets me. Totally gets me.
Jared used to do that. He would always put his girlfriend girlfriend, they weren't married, on the deaf side. And she'd be yelling, said, Jerry.
Look, we've got almost 2.5 hours without a guest again. And I didn't play the news again because, you know what? For Al to not have the Epstein shit in the news, I mean, this is he gives us old news all the time, this mistake. But this is one where you just can't, because that's not like a new story, right? That's inexcusable, Al. Get your shit together. What is this? My left ear got done at a Slayer show in Italy in 1990. Yeah, well, my drummer for the early part of my life used to beat his cymbals like they owed him money.
That's what he called his penis.
No, but cymbals more than the drums will fucking pierce your high end and just cut it right out, and then give you that tinnitus that is just always screaming, loud, ringing in your ears, always, constantly. So you know that I blame my drummer for Joe Mignani. He's dead, so I can blame him. And he just doesn't. He's not there to.
See, when I started playing in the band, I'd already heard about Pete Townsend losing his hearing, not his ears. He had his ears losing his hearing, and so I used to play with earplugs. And so quite often, and the thing is, it killed the high end, the high end, like the guitar cymbals and stuff like that. So I would watch the bass player, and I just felt the bass in my back, but I couldn't we were performing one time, and we were performing outside. And it was March, and it was cold. I tuned my guitar, but two of my B and my E, my high E and my B went out of tune by like just enough to drive my bass player with perfect pitch crazy. And I didn't know, because I didn't need to hear that. I knew where everything was. I knew what I was doing. So I'm playing, and my bass player was yelling at me, when he was saying, "Tune your guitar," and I'm like, he's like, "Tune your guitar," and I'm like, and then he went over. He starts playing. He's doing this so he's hammering his bass with one hand like this. He's playing like this, and he takes his other hand, he tunes my guitar while he's playing. And I went, "Oh, I didn't know."
Little Buster was the most amazing guy I ever. He's blind as a bat. I mean, totally fucking blind. And he used to be. I remember I was up front one time at Right Track Inn in Freeport watching him play. He broke a string. He's singing and playing the blues while he's putting on a new string and singing. And he's totally blind. Like, I can't even fucking change strings with the fucking eyes and hands in front of me. He's totally putting on a new string, tuning it up in the whole bit while he's still playing and singing, and then gets it right. Like, gets it right perfectly in tune. Like, holy fuck, how the fuck does this guy do this? Just by grabbing the thing out of his case, feeling the gauge. Oh, this is the right one. Like, he's not. I have to read the package. Like, is this an E string or a B string?
I have to get it in the hole. I have to suck the end. Like, I have to go like this, just like I'm threading a needle.
Yeah. And I remember one time this harmonica player was standing next to me. Now, we're in a loud room. He's on the stage performing. And this guy said, harmonica player, because he wants to go jam with it. He goes, "What key are they playing in?" I said, "E." And Buster goes, "Somebody lying about the key." I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, incredible ears and all that stuff. It hasn't helped. Being deaf has not helped my eyesight at all. I don't buy into that. You lose one sense and the other sense gets enhanced. It hasn't worked for me. I'm going blind at the same time as going deaf.
I did try it, and it drove me crazy. I don't know why I was.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
I couldn't play chords. I could play lead, but I couldn't play chords.
Can't do it.
Now I did have one song that I did with the band that I wore two guitars, and one guitar was just tuned to an open E chord. It was when I strummed it, it was an E chord, and that was So I was playing a solo, and I strummed that chord, and it would just like vibrate, and then I would play underneath of it, But that was just for that one particular song.
What did you tune the A string to?
Right.
What note did you tune the A string to? Was it G sharp or B?
This one here.
The fifth string, yes. What's the A string? Right. Did you go down a half step or up down a half step or up a full step?
I'm thinking of one.
Thanks, man.
That will fuck with your intonation and the tension on the neck. If you have to go up to a B on that A string, that's a really tight string now, and now the whole neck becomes.
I can't answer that because I let Phil tune it. He had perfect pitch.
Yeah.
So Phil did that for me. I have to ask Phil.
It would just change, but the point I'm getting at here is if you do that, right? And then the D string has to go up a full step to E. Now the tension on the neck is so fucking high that the intonation is going to be out. So it'll be an E string in open tuning, but if you're on the fifth string and you just put one finger across, it's not going to be in tune for an A. It will be an A chord with a couple of notes out of tune or slightly out of tune.
No, I'd have to ask Phil. He was the one with the perfect pitch because he was the one that told me that I couldn't do it. Like I was thinking logically. Like when I finger it like this, it would go. This would have to become like that.
He said, "Finger it, Steven."
No, I heard. I was getting my lotion.
I saw you
so
smile.
I didn't tune it. Phil did. And because he had perfect pitch and those things annoyed him more than they annoyed me, I was very happy to let him do it.
Why the fuck didn't he just do an open D tuning, which takes care of all that and doesn't fuck with the stuff? What? Let's call him up. Where is Phil? Phil. Matt.
Let's find out. Oh, I am so. I should be angry. I should be angry. He's my friend, my former bass player. He lives in Iowa. He was in town for a few days, and he visited his family. He has family that lives down the street from me. Now I don't think he went down the street to visit his family. They were like meeting in Baltimore and in Pennsylvania, but we could have met up. You know.
Did Galileo ever? Well, I mean, Galileo dropping an orange, is that a thing? I mean, what is that? Galileo dropped an orange. The comment, Matt dropping signs like Galileo dropped an orange. What the? I don't know the Galileo dropping an orange story. I know Newton with the apple,
and I don't know that he dropped the apple if he just threw it. No, just kidding. Wait a minute now. Did Galileo, was he doing experiments about? No, Newton was the one.
Beastie Boys lyrics. Sorry, I didn't know.
Okay.
All I know is I got to fight for my right to party. Music thing, the Ozzy thing. There's some controversy going on there now. Here's where it doesn't make any sense to me. They say people were upset that it was a cold ending, that the Black Sabbath guys just walked off stage and left out. Hold on, let me tell people what the controversy is, and then you could fucking talk about it. That the Black Sabbath guys just walked off stage and left him sitting there cold by himself. Now, some people said, "Oh, the live stream was poorly edited." You don't. The live stream is not edited. That's why it's live. That doesn't make any sense. Here's the video. Somebody said, "Here's the video where they came back out and were welcome." Well, that seemed like the edited part afterwards. Anyway, go ahead, Stephen. What do you know about it? Clarify.
No, because I've been here. I've been seeing it all over the place, and there's video. The live stream apparently didn't do it justice because the people that were there shot video, and they came back on stage, brought him a cake, and the reason they left him on the stage was so he could just feel the audience one last time, just him and his fans, and I thought it was beautiful. So fuck the haters.
Yeah. So it could have been a while before they came back out, but nobody edited the live stream because that's what the claim was. The live stream was poorly edited. Like that, it's not. That's the whole point of live streaming. It's not edited. It's in real time. You're seeing that.
They just ended early.
Yeah. So then I didn't hear that they came. That makes sense. They leave him on stage so that he could have his moment with the audience who's never going to see him again. It surprised me that they're all still alive again. Still alive because these guys got to be at least pushing 80, right? What is it? Do we know how old Ozzy is? He's got to be in his 80s, right? 82, something, maybe. They were around since the mid 60s.
I think he's in his 70s.
That's all.
Ozzy's age.
76.
Yeah.
76. Well, that's Jackie's age. Jackie just turned 77. Probably did.
I think Jackie is 77.
Yikes! That's it's getting up there, man.
He'll be old as you soon.
All right. Yeah. We're overtime. Look at it. We went way over 2.5 hours without a fucking guest who was on vacation right now, and will never be on the show. He's never going to reschedule. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
When I leave here, I'm going to
you're going to go do a pilot. You're going to go fuck a pilot.
Yeah, I'm going to work on a pilot. Yeah.
No, you're going to fuck a pilot.
I have to look to see where they're shooting because I'm supposed to show up to the first scene, the first location they're shooting after lunch. That's where they want me to go.
What did I just delete? I thought I deleted Newscast 2 and I deleted something else. Mind dog,
is it another Reverend thing? Motherfucker.
No. No, the church stuff is still all at the bottom there. I don't like what StreamYard did to me here. This is very disconcerting.
Are you high right now? Are you high right now?
A little bit. Not as much as I'm going to be in.
Whoa! Did you move something, Matt?
I just deleted
okay, because the Are You High right now was on the left-hand side, and it just jumped to the right side. Now I wanted to make sure I didn't fuck up something.
But yeah, so the StreamYard, man, stop fixing the shit that nobody asked you to fix and fix the shit that we ask you to fix. That fucking loop button. Yesterday it seemed to be right, and then today it was all wrong again. You can't get any fucking cooperation with these people. We should end this nonsense. Tomorrow we have no guest, but I'm going to work on a guest.
So what are we going to do now?
How about I work on a guest for you? Would that make you happy?
Yes.
Tomorrow's your last day, Steven?
Friday.
All right. Well, we're going to say until you get fired for, we caught him, whatever.
Sniffing the ones.
Sniffing the singles.
Scratching his anus. Scratching his anus.
Scratching my anus with a
$1.
$50.
Yeah.
Scratch my anus with a $50, yeah.
And then leaving him in his dude wipes fucking bucket. Imagine like hundreds. Just wiping your ass with hundreds. If you were that rich that you could just wipe your ass with $100 bills.
You could do that poor also. It's just more risk.
You gotta wash it off and use it afterwards.
Right. You have to use it again. Now, Steven's body isn't even cold yet, okay?
Big Beautiful Bill, if you'd like to take the place of do you have any experience diddling kids?
Bill, if you want to be our resident pedophile, go ahead.
Yeah. If you want to take Steven's place until he gets fired, sure, you're welcome to be a substitute. But you're not fat enough, I don't think. And
I feel like we're similar in weight. He's just taller.
I think that's a major.
Working. He's got to make drinks and stuff.
I'm 270. I'm not like 500 pounds.
I had a dream that I was 300 pounds.
Just because we did want a woman on the show. How do you look in the dress?
He does got the nips.
I do still would love to, for say what you will about the ladies who were guest hosts here. They were very good looking women. They both added a lot to the show. I chased them away. Well, Andy chased Kiera away because Andy is an atheist, hardcore atheist, and has been abused by religion. And she's a born again Christian who does not take well to being told her religion is for stupid people. So that's why Kiera left. Jess had no such religion. Jess was she's in LA and it's just too early for her. Wore her out. But we definitely and we need to get a woman on here.
But I mean, I'll definitely be able to pop in on holidays since I'll have every.
You're not the kind of woman that really I'm talking about.
Oh,
I mean a real woman.
You realize we can't keep your seat open, so you're gonna have to get permission to come back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I figured that'd be the case.
I'm saying we I have some kind of fucking authority.
Well, you can send a link.
No, I would.
Oh, here's the thing that you don't know about links, because Steven is always he's constantly. I want to share this to my people. I want to. Guests can share this program all over any social media they want. So a workaround here, when we run out of little buttons up there you can send yourself a guest link, log in as a guest, leave it in the back room down there, and then share to all of your social medias everywhere, groups and everything that you're part of. You didn't know that, did you? You know who knew that?
I have a mustache, Bill, you fuck.
You know who knew that? June Edward. Remember June Edward, the psychic? When she was on here, this is how I found out about this. I would say, well, what is all these extra places we're streaming to? Those were her social medias. That's just something that's there in case you want to do that. We could just go beyond the limitations of StreamYard by making yourself a guest, not actually participating as a guest. You know what I'm saying? Are you happy that I shared that with you?
Yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about, but sure. No, I'm just teasing. The people that I'm shooting the pilot with, these are all church people. Almost all of them are church people.
Great.
So it's a church show. It's called The Body, and it's like a church political drama with the backstabbing of the pastor and the people behind the church, that kind of stuff. I didn't read the whole script. I just read the page that I'm on. Really, because I'm on one page and I have one word. That's it. So I didn't read the rest of the script. I went, okay, I'm on page 48 and I got one word. That's the word. Okay. That's it. I didn't read the rest of the script. I just know what
it's not the word that you have to remember to say. It's the person before you's cue on it.
No, I start that scene. Yeah, I got the first word. I start the scene, I think. No. The person asked me a question and I set the tone where I answer the question.
Mikey, the leader of the Rockin' 45s, he was cast. Hey, Mikey's a fucking heathen. He was cast because one of the club owners loved him. And that guy's a very religious dude. He cast him in a little theater, a little way off Broadway, off America. Theater production of Jesus Christ Superstar. And Mikey said to me, "Yeah, you got me playing Herod." I was like, "Well, maybe you should look up who you're actually playing before you start bragging about it." Herod. Does she even have a rod? I don't think she has a rod.
Maybe it's bigger than yours and you just forgot about it because it made you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah. So, and Herod is not exactly the kind of guy, unless you want to play assholes and villains, terrible people. But anyway, so that's it. We're gonna wrap this shit up. Stephen,
I only mentioned that they were all church people because I have to watch my mouth.
GD,
the entire day.
GD, don't forget to turn on your radio.
Finish inside me. Finish inside me.
Are you high right now? Are you high right now?
A lot of that comes.
I'm coming for you!
Walk around happy. What you wanna do, baby? It's on
now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to